What you want, what you want, what you gonna do when Sheriff don't come for you? Tell me what you gonna do, what you gonna do. Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? When you were good and you had bad traits, you go to school and learn the golden rule. So why are you acting like a bloody fool? If you get hot, then you must get cool. Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? You took it on that one, you took it on this one, you took it on your mother and you took it on your father, you took it on your brother and you took it on your sister, you took it on your friend, you took it on me. Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? Police now, you no break. That old soldier man, I give you no break. That even your item now, I give you no breaks. Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you?
What's up? What's going on, Conscious Crew? Welcome to another riveting episode of the Consciouztv platform. You already know who I am, bitch. I'm your favorite candy, smandy, breakdown commentator, okay? CTV. Happy to have you guys here on a woke Monday, honey. Excited, honey. I'm excited for the week. You guys know that I was sick all last week, even though a bitch was pushing through the mess, pushing through work, just pushing it, bitch, pushing it real good pushing it, honey. So I want to shout out to everybody who's been sending me well wishes all over Instagram and emails and in my Patreon DMs. And thank you so much to those who have been donating and throwing that coin on the king, honey, because the king been working, baby, been thrashing that push left and right with the content for the girls. So I want to thank y'all for all of the support. You guys already know we're here to get into episode 3 of this ratchet ass it's a guilty pleasure. I just have to keep saying it. You know, I don't endorse anything about this show. If y'all wanted to boycott it, I would be fine with that. If this needed to be banned from television and needed to be some type of underground film girl project, that worked for me, because once again, there's no redemptive quality in this show aside from us giving y'all our fucking reviews, okay? Now, before we even get into the minutia, you already know what to do, honey. Give me a nasty piece of thumbs up. Honey, hit that thumbs up. This literally helps YouTube to recommend the platform and the content to other patrons out here on the metaverse, baby. Okay, so you're literally supporting my algorithm when you're thumbing up. So please never forget to thumbs up. It doesn't matter whether you do it in the beginning, in the middle, at the end, or in the replay. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Now, if you're new here, you need to also make sure that you subscribe, because if I like it, bitch, you're gonna absolutely motherfucking love it. Okay. And everybody need to make sure that they have the notification bell set to all, because you never know what day or hour, baby, content is going to be downloaded from the platform. And if you don't mind taking it just a step further, okay, can you share? Thank you. Now, before we get into the thick of our review, you guys know I can do this with no other than YouTube best kept secret, reckless motherfucking logic, my amazing co-host who is wiping the crust out of his eyes. Can y'all tell there's something new, girl? Can y'all tell there's something new about Stefan, honey? Doesn't he look a little extra fresh in the face? He looks a little extra crispy, honey. Okay, could it be a new Borat, honey? Could it be that the ponytail is snatched, girl?
Girl.
What you think they think you did, Stefan? What you done did? You done switched up some from the neck up.
Girl, they was all in my live talking about some. I was trying to see what was going on with you, but I just realized you finally don't have your do-rag on. I finally got me a haircut, y'all. That's what happened.
Hey man, honey. You know what?
It's been a minute.
Haircuts for men are like makeup for women.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it just does us good to be tapered and slayed, girl. All around the motherfucking head. Yes, I ain't mad at it. Like, you got your eyebrows slayed. You get that done at the same place?
Mm-hmm.
So your barber, what he does, he raises or threads?
He razors.
Razors?
I haven't had it. I heard threading hurts.
It does, but it's really accurate and it lasts long.
Well, I guess I'll get
I'm the eyebrow king, you know.
I ain't there yet.
Yeah. You know, how a nasty piece of art, Chuddy. Okay, anyway, are you ready for tonight? Because I know, have you already did your review?
Mm-hmm.
You did? Okay, so you got all lubricated and warmed up to get the bussy bust open here for the commentary. I ain't mad at it. Got to train that bussy good. Well, we're going to run this intro, girl. We're going to get into it, you guys. So we'll be right back with our regular scheduled programming. Okay.
I know a place where you can recharge your soul.
Baby, that's Consciouztv.
And in the midst of brokenness, he gon' see your asshole.
Baby, that's Consciouztv.
You gon' heal, you gon' laugh and catch a little shade.
Ooh, girl.
Y'all know he be slaying, y'all better stop playing. Come hear what he's saying.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Bad boys, what you want? Thank you guys for the compliments. You know, my hair being slayed, you guys have to, I'd be lying. I have to give credit to my mother. She said, there's 3 things you do in life. Stack your motherfucking paper, take nail motherfucker shit, and when you hit the door hole, make sure that your motherfucking naps are motherfucking slayed to the gods, girl. So, yes, being well-groomed has always been just a very strong fundamental virtue in my household growing up. I come from a very dressy, flashy-ass family, even though it's filled with a bunch of conservative-ass Christians, honey. These are some of the most well-dressed, aesthetically appealing people you will ever met in your motherfucking life. So fashion and clothes and hair and upkeep and all that shit was just such a huge part of my life. The men in my family are just as high maintenance and well maintained as the women are, girl. So, you know, we keep the same motherfucking energy. So, you know, it be like that. It be like that. Now, how you feeling today before we even get here?
I feel good.
You feel good?
Mm-hmm.
How you feel about this episode? You ain't got to get into details because we're gonna get into details. But what was episode 3 giving?
It was more mellow. No one went upside a bitch head or two.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they didn't. But however, once again, I like all that stuff he was saying earlier, talking about boycotting the show. I do not support that. We all need shows and stuff and activities that are a bit toxic. Well, I don't know about toxic, but are a bit on the side. Because let's just call a spade. Because when these shows be 100% positive and all together, kumbaya, y'all do not be supporting it like that.
Yes,
I said like that. It's the difference in the numbers. I said like that. It's the difference between. It's the difference when you see the numbers from when it's the all positive and it's controversial. Let's call a spade. So at the end of the day, y'all would not try to take away my toxic shows, because the thing about energy is not created nor is it destroyed. It just transfers. So since I have to transfer it somewhere, I'm gonna transfer it me watching this show. So with that being said, this show will not be boycotted. I will be cussing at my TV every single week, and I'm here for it.
Now here's the thing, you know, I'm only cool with people boycotting it and not watching and canceling it, cause it's not the content itself. The problem is a culture that's oversaturated in toxic, low vibrating content. It's the oversaturation of it. I believe that all art needs to always be in the museum, from the most beautiful stuff to the hellish. The horror movies need to be up there with the love and romance movies too. But it's just the oversaturation of it is because, unfortunately, we are a communal herd species, and we take our cues from other human beings. We take our cues largely also from the cultural messages that are projected onto us. So, you know, while people should not be trying to take music literally and should not trying to be taking pop culture things seriously and literally carving out their virtue and character out of this shit, we know people do, especially young people. They don't know any better. But that's another story for another day. It is a guilty pleasure. And I also want to say this. Shout out to the Bad Boys Club from Gemini Films, the web series. Shout out to G-Status, Chasing Reality. Shout out to social media in general. Because one of the really epic things about the sensationalism of Bad Boys Los Angeles is that we are seeing like the epitomization of social media capital. I don't think anybody has really realized that social media influencers have now leveled up to commercial success. The bar has now been officially risen and the door has been officially kicked the fuck in. That the sky's the limit for being a social media influencer. Whether you're an Instagram model / influencer, YouTuber, Facebooker, wherever your fame and fortune is. The fact that now we're seeing people who have had social media success now be put up on mainstream fucking networks, working for the big dogs, is actually really inspiring. And this wouldn't be because Zeus Network got its blueprint from all these web series that are ratchet, started from the grassroots, raw talent, and just look at us. Then made it to Zeus now. So the sky's the limit. We'll get better. But y'all know the beginning always got to start off with the exciting ratchet shit, okay? So it'll fizzle out. You know, these networks will do woke shit in time, hopefully. Hopefully. If not, the people who utilize these genres as a stepping stone will take what they gain and do really meaningful work with that stuff later. So I got a lot of hope. How you feel about it?
I like it.
That's it, bitch. You just like it.
I like it.
Okay.
That's why I'm addicted to it. I like it. And plus, reality TV has always been something that I've always liked. Like, I like the different aspects of reality TV. I like the real, authentic reactions, interactions, even shows that either it makes me leave with an emotion. Like, I like the show because it makes me leave with an emotion. Either that emotion is I'm really pleased by what I've seen, or I'm really pissed off because I see that certain things that happened on the show, which is the purpose of, I think, shows. It's supposed to have, you're supposed to leave with something, even if it's good or bad. You're supposed to leave with something.
Yeah, I think that this show probably feels personal to a lot of Black queer men because it's kind of mirroring aspects of our reality and lives and the dynamics of our lives back to us. So some of the stuff hits really close to home and things that we can really attest to and reference in our own direct lives. So it's definitely one of the most interesting social experiments yet. And I wonder if the blueprint for Bad Boys Los Angeles since they're already auditioning for season 2, etc. If they're going to keep the same structure of straight and gay, because I hope they don't do that. I think that's what gives it that unique grit, is colliding those worlds together. They're probably going to have they're probably going to have some trans women, I'm sure, on season 2. But I don't want to move too fast.
Yeah, but I will say I hope they don't take the straight men off, because that would be like kind of like if you're going based off the backs of Bad Girls Club, where they actually had lesbian women actually on the show, and as of recently trans women on the show, then I feel like then you probably should keep straight men in the equation, because that's the reason why we're able to have these deep conversations, or have conversations that you probably wouldn't even be so much of a thing if they weren't even present, or in that particular situation. And I'm not gonna. I would actually like to see more straight men on the show.
Yeah, for sure. Because or else it becomes a gay show, and right now it seems like they're not interested in marketing it as a gay show. So for sure. Okay, well let's get straight into episode 3, girl. I've been giving out my account to like 6 damn people, so it's a lot of us on that motherfucker. Sorry, Zeus. But girl, when one of us making out the barrel, girl, I gotta come back for my niggas. Like, here, you tubby bitch, okay? I gotta come back for my niggas. That's how it goes. Okay, so obviously this episode opens up with the drama that rolled over from episode 2, which was this huge house fight that practically Mula, aka Papoose, and Curtis, aka Curtis, Lil Bow-Weezy, then fucking started, that led to Carry On getting punched in the mouth, blood rushing and gushing every damn where. They're talking about the night before. Lil Bow Wow is still pressed about his braids being rearranged on the back of his head. He's still feeling away about Milan, girl, giving him a 2-piece and a damn biscuit from the back of the pussy. And Moolah is just like feeling away because he knows that when this episode drops, he's going to be canceled, girl. All them little hoodies and snapbacks and things, that the sales going to plummet double over than what they already ain't selling, girl, because he already know what to give. So, girl, he pressed. He having anxiety. He don't want to be thought of as a homophobe. What were your thoughts of this? Because we're going to move through this conversation here quite a bit. But what do you think about their morning after conversation?
It's girl. I got my notes. Let me grab my notes real quick, bitch. The whole thing is that when the only thing that kept really irritating me, really, when they was having like the discussion, is they kept starting from the middle. And DMV kept saying things like, I don't see nothing wrong with what you said. And my bad, DMV is Curtis, y'all. DMV has saw nothing wrong with him saying, I don't see nothing wrong with what you said. Of course, you're not going to see anything wrong because, bitch, y'all both are here when it comes down to ideas and ideologies and pathologies. Bitch, y'all both think alike. Now, however, keep in mind, the bitch right next to you, why is it like every time I go live, everybody just want to start doing stuff? Y'all hear that? So disrespectful. But anyway, look. So the whole thing behind it is that y'all both thinking like, of course you're not gonna see or think that he did anything wrong. Duh. But however, y'all have different perspectives, then yeah, then maybe y'all can probably try to balance that out. But y'all keeps trying to start from the middle. He keep talking about the reason why we fought is because his energy was this, that, and third. I'm like, well, no. If you start from the beginning, you was asking him a question that had nothing to do with you, and then on top of that, it was your verbiage behind it. It's like you sit up talking, I'm gonna ask you again. Bitch, I don't give a fuck how many times you asked me. You asked me 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times. If I didn't answer you the first time, I'll decline to answer you the second time, and I keep telling you, and I'm declining to answer you the third time. What do you think is gonna happen? Like, like that shit was irritating. I was like, girl, what the fuck? And also this reverse psychology thing that what they do, as in, no, all of a sudden I'm the victim. all of a sudden, they attacked me and he was coming at me crazy. That's the reason why. But yet you forgot that you was trying to get this man to out himself. Yeah, you done forgot, Curtis, that you jumped into a fight that had nothing to do with you, and then that's the reason why, the same way you popped your ass, your ass in, the same way that Milan popped your ass the fuck back out of it. So that's all I got to say on it so far. I was like, girl, the fuck.
So Milan is feeling like the whole house feels that he's against the whole LGBT community. Yeah, nigga, like, y'all tried to separate and divide the house like this was fucking the Jim Crow era. Girl, like, gay water fountain, straight water fountain type teas. Girl, like, gay side of the restaurant, straight side of the restaurant type teas. And it was interesting to me because Milan and Curtis are a prime example of, like, just the level of heterosexual privilege that exists, that they have so not worked out this queer thing intellectually at all. Like, it's like you could tell they've never even tried to arrange their brain cells to understand, to accommodate, to accept, or anything. Like, it's interesting how blinding and so, like, piercing privilege can be. Like, how, like, just the level of ignorance that's afforded to privileged people is it's almost insulting sometimes at how they don't have to know nothing until they do. Like, just don't have to know nothing. Like, don't just ain't never had to even consider that the world ain't fair and balanced and aligned for all people. Yeah. And he still didn't understand why his question was problematic, to your point, because the problem in and of itself was rooted in patriarchy and fear-mongering, Milan. It wasn't the question. It was the intention behind the question that was the problem. It was your sinister plan to use the answer to oppress the person who you're seeking this information from. And I don't know why people think that they can hide energy. See, the amazing thing about when we go to speak versus texting something is that we reveal our intent behind whatever we're communicating, because there's a mood associated with those words. There are emotions that also communicate information that can lead to discerning the nature of a statement, the nature of a question. So it's been fascinating to me. Now, y'all finna be in the damn house with dudes for a long time, but you don't know anything about them. Because that was Milan's them other weak-ass justification was, we're gonna be, we just want to know the guys. We don't know anything about the guys. But the only question y'all have prioritized is one about carry-on sexuality. If that was true, you would be asking the guys about their upbringing, their relationship status, their education, their hobbies, things that you could actually bond over rather than one's orientation and gender identity. So it's funny when it comes to the straights, because when you wear the gay on your sleeve, it's the gay agenda. Shout out to Lil Nas X. But when you wear the gay discreetly, like Carry On, it's tell me, please. This is secrecy and deception by not outing yourself. And it just reminds us of the hypocrisy of our motherfucking democracy. Oh,
and let me say,
video, what's going on, bro?
Hey, look, Knockout.
I've been telling Knockout that he needs to get. Oh yeah, I'm about to text you the link right now, because I've been telling Knockout he needs to get in on these motherfucking reviews.
And let me jump in when you was talking about him asking the question, talking about his weak ass response, talking about some reason why he wanted to know, because he wanted to get. First off, that's a lie. Reason being because first off, your first reason why you wanted to know because you felt like people were being sneaky. That's the first thing that you said. And then on top of it, then you're talking about all of a sudden you want to get to know people. First off, that's another lie within itself, because the whole thing is that we seen how when Miss Skittle Gutter K and Miss Louis Prada Gucci with the shades, bitch, Anthony, walked into the room and tried to get a chance to know you guys. What was the response that they received? Oh, I don't want y'all in my room. I'm not talking to y'all. I don't want to talk to y'all. I just want to talk to him, and y'all figure it out. So how are you getting to know somebody, anybody within this house? But however you treat, when people do try to actually include y'all, you have a different response. So I need for you to make it make sense.
Exactly. And to XOXO Gina's point, you have to know the orientation so that you guys are not disrespecting each other and crossing boundaries. There are no boundaries to cross. Like, that's like gay people entering into a space and saying who's straight, who's straight, who's straight, who's straight, so that I know how to not cross boundaries. I'm going to not be crossing boundaries anyway. I'm going to be keeping my hands to myself. I'm going to have common decency and courtesy to a room full of people I don't know. I don't need I don't need to know your sexual orientation. I don't need to know your body count. I don't need to know your gender identity in order to navigate a space successfully. How many of us work jobs with people whose orientations we have no idea about? How many of us are on campus and sit in class with people whose orientations we don't know anything about? How many of us are in Walmart or in the shopping mall and constantly engaging in society and don't need to know nobody's sexuality in order to have respect and common courtesy for people? It's not something that's necessary. Curtis and Mula had already revealed in episode 2 why they wanted to know. And it was because it's the straight side and it's the gay side. And they don't want nothing to do with that gay shit because it's all pussy over here. It's all women and titties over here. They don't do none of that dicks and ass and shit. So you gotta keep up, XO. You gotta. It's a context here. It's not simply happening within a vacuum.
Yes, and keep in mind too. The thing about it is that we're not only paying attention to what they say, but we're also paying attention to what they don't say. So it's all about the intentions, all about the tone, it's about all these different things. And another thing I did say on my live is that another thing as well is that a lot of times too, people try to put on this face, but yet we forget that we are multifaceted, that people try to put on a particular face. But if you watch that particular face for so long, you will have moments where you will start to see bits and pieces of the true them. And we did see that multiple times within this episode when it came down to Mr. Gatekeeper, aka Mula. So
Now, I guess some people are trying to argue that there may be a double standard, because when Gutta, to Joshua's point, was quick to push all up on Carry On and touching him after he alluded he wasn't straight on the bus, that was totally disrespectful and violating. Do you share the same sentiments?
Wait, say it again.
Joshua says, but see how Gutta was quick to push up on Carry On and touching him after he alluded he wasn't straight on the bus. That was totally disrespectful and violating.
I think the whole thing is that, for one, they kind of knew the guy. Okay, so here's the thing too, and this also was the other thing I was saying on my live, is that when it comes down to I'm about to say Neo Soul, when it comes down to Carry On, he's just about answering the question without answering the question. As in, keep in context, if it's never really been a bad thing to be straight ever, and you ask somebody about their sexual orientation, as in, are you gay, are you straight, and they don't say anything, 9 times out of 10, they're probably not 100% straight. They're probably within that spectrum. So with that being said, is that, yes, we can say that to Gutta and all of these different other things, but can we say that to your uncles? Should we be saying that to your cousins? Should we be saying that to your to every man that has been that has been socialized to come onto women until a certain way? So I think the whole thing is that we're always willing to have this conversation when it gets down to people with different sexual orientations and different gender identities. But however, we don't turn around, do a complete 180 and tell our own family members that exact same rhetoric. Because last time I checked, whenever your sister would go inside of a gas station, guess who's whistling at her? Every time your sister goes and walks down the street, guess who's trying to get that number? Every time she goes inside a club, guess who's slapping on that ass? So do y'all really want to have that conversation?
Well, I want to add to that point that for me personally, I don't see flirtatious behavior, and I know that sometimes for some people, flirtatious behavior can also be represented through physical affection, touching, hugging, etc. For me personally, I don't flirt physically. I just don't touch people. That's just my thing. I'm not a reach out and touch people, especially if I don't know you. Even if I'm attracted to you, but if I don't know a person, I'm just not that kind of person. But I know other people are. Now, I feel like this about the Carry On and Gutter situation. Once Gutter felt like Carry On was up for grabs, he, put on his flirtatious shit, and then it's up to Carry On to set the boundaries for Gutter. It ain't for us, it's for him. Because some people like that kind of attention, and it seems to me that Carry On is doing enough to encourage the attention, but also doing enough to let Gutter know enough is enough. So Gutter is right in that middle space with Carry On, where he keeps his flirtation pretty level, and he's ultimately flirting with a man who does have a pansexual, bisexual capacity. Unlike Gutter just coming on to a exclusively heterosexual man like Milan and Curtis. Now, before we go any further, I want to invite Knockout Media to the motherfucking review.
What up?
Hey.
What up?
What's going on, brother man?
You man down?
I'm chilling. I just finished. Well, I think I had like maybe 2 minutes left on the episode, but I was just like, oh my god, and it was perfect timing because I looked and you were going live. But
period.
Oh man. Well,
so much to get into, right?
Well, I mean, have y'all covered the whole drinking excuse that Mula tried to?
When that bit, yeah, because he was trying to blame it on the.
He was trying to say that
alcohol. I was like, yes, ma'am.
I missed the whole part. He blamed his behavior on kind of being too.
He was like the very beginning. He was like, yeah, this is my first time kind of like turning up. I just recently started drinking, so it's just kind of like whatever happened last night and and it's like, what?
Wait, wow. Please put that comment on there. The XO, Gina, please.
Oh, I am. I'm gonna answer this one first. But I'm gonna let so let's respond to Knockouts. So first of all,
he did.
What pissed me off about Mula and his conversation with Curtis, before we get to Christopher Milan's interjection, is it was just riddled with unsubstantiated excuses. Like, how can you blame it on liquor when you're doubling down on the same energy, doubling down on the same entitlement, doubling down on your behavior now that you are sober the fuck up and your dick is limp? You're still keeping the same energy. So liquor ain't got shit to do with it.
Damn. Yeah.
Now maybe I don't know whether he's trying to say that liquor was responsible for maybe him being a bit more aggressive with Carry On, which led to the punch in the mouth and things. But I'm just like, yo, I mean,
That's BS to me. Reason why is because I forgot to say it's like a drunken man. No, a sober mind comes through a drunken tongue. It's something like that. But the whole thing is behind.
It's true though. Yeah.
The whole thing is that
a drunken heart speaks a sober mind.
Yes, something like that, dude. But the whole thing is this: is that I could somewhat try to quote unquote get that, but the whole thing is that later in this episode you proved that wasn't the case if people were really paying attention. But don't worry, I'm gonna bring it up. But you proved that it wasn't just the alcohol. Now the alcohol may have been a catalyst, but however, the alcohol was speaking straight from your heart.
Right. Well,
at the end of the day.
See, somebody, Robin Carter had made a good point, because that was a point I was gonna make tonight about Mula, is that I guess, he's still in the prison mindset of, okay, well, if I'm living with you, I have to know like your sexuality and everything. He's treating it like it's
Ooh, so
like
that's like
he's
county jail PTSD.
right, like it's a institutionalized way of thinking because he's
Because he
been
even
locked
know
up for
if he can
years.
protect his asshole or not.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing is why he's, well, I need to know your sexuality. It's like you don't really need to know, because it's like, just like y'all were saying, if you're not attracted to, oh yeah, go ahead, Reckless.
No,
I'm
hold on,
not
hold on,
getting
hold
on
on,
that.
hold on. Before you go, Reckless, knockout. That is a very great additive here, because Mullah has repeatedly spoken about prison,
Mhm.
and I never even thought about if that institutionalized thinking, like, what I think the homophobia
Translate.
already is there anyway,
Uh-huh.
but obviously in tandem with the, the prison culture and rape
Mm-hmm.
culture that goes on within prison,
Mm-hmm.
if this like revs up his concern,
Right.
especially for being in this level of proximity to other gay men, because it's different just having a nigga on your podcast. It's different just seeing them niggas in passing, but
Mm-hmm.
living in the house, sharing rooms, sharing bathrooms, really having a communal experience. And it seems that there may be like some prison trauma there that has nothing to do with queer people that Mullah needs to deal with. But
Right.
that's a good
Right.
point. But go
And,
ahead, Reckless.
uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Go ahead, Reckless.
Yeah.
I
No,
don't
go
give,
ahead.
I don't give a fuck about none of that, because the whole thing behind.
So we
I'm saying,
didn't say it for you to give a
I'm
fuck
probably
about. We just
no,
saying that it is it is a
I'm
valuable
finna be,
point.
I'm finna be a little bit ignorant, because the whole thing behind the bitch is this. At the end of the day, yes, you was in the prison system, and you was institutionalized, all the different other things. Everybody got their own trauma. You better work through it the same way they tell us that what we go through has nothing to do with them, and vice versa. So with that being said, you need to work through it. And with that being said, you need to know how to respect people. And with that being said, you need to also come and actually deal with the homophobia that's in your heart at the end of the day.
Yeah, but I mean, I agree though. Like the point of him pushing it so hard is really like, it's like even the conversation. Well, I guess we'll get to that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And Reckless just said, or what I said, he just revealed something that lets that can inform him that he needs to start dealing with some things
Mhm.
that's kind of unrelated, because he's conflating two realities that are not synonymous to one another.
Now, do y'all think Curtis is just gonna sit there and enable it? Or do you think Curtis might be somebody
I've
who's
already
just
called Curtis a
kind of DL?
bastardized follower.
Oh,
No,
okay.
I don't think that they're on the DL. Something that I don't do, and I know that a lot of other gay men do this. I'm not quick to call niggas gay. That's not the only explanation for why niggas are homophobic. We literally live in a fucking society that has conditioned people to other queer people. So why the hell would men also not just simply fear queer people because they've been taught that they are monsters, taught that they're something other than natural, other than normal, other than etc. They haven't been exposed and educated properly. So I'm not one of those gay men who, soon as a straight nigga start acting up, oh my God, he must be on the DL. That is the case where it is the case from. And then for other people, it's just simply fucking ignorance and fear. Fear given to them by religion, fear given to them by cultural interpretations of a certain group of people, etc. So the same way that Christians fearmonger when it comes to Satanists. I remember there being an issue a few years ago where Satanists they were trying to go to the federal government to have their temples resurrected, like on the like in their cities at the Capitol buildings and shit. And there was this big outpouring and outcry from the Christian community, who makes up the majority in the dominant society in the United States, who was like, "Oh hell no!" And I mean, they was like, of course, they went completely ballistic. This is the last days, and don't nobody want a satanic temple next door to them, and don't nobody want to see satanic statues and shit, like in the downtown parks of their cities and shit. And even though I don't want to see no reverence to Lucifer either, but I have to be liberal enough to understand that what's good for the goose is good for the gander, baby. And if Christians got the right to have their mascots and their symbolisms on every other goddamn street corner, planted in every other building, plastered on the back of their car tags and shit, then people of other faiths, regardless of how you feel about those faiths, deserve to have the same visibility and deserve to have the same access. So, things can't work for you and then shouldn't work for nobody else. So fear is behind a lot of this shit for a lot of people. And you know what? As a gay man, I didn't always accept myself growing up. I know what it's like to be a homophobic because I had internalized homophobia my damn self because of what I had been taught, how I had been conditioned about someone like me, someone with feelings and attractions and desires like myself. So the reality is people are taught a certain way. So either Moolah and Curtis are on the down low and struggling, or they're just ignorant, fear-mongering ass motherfuckers who are the toxic ass, patriarchal, capitalistic ass.
I can tell you one thing. Like, okay, so I've been like on spring break before where it was like, say I have a group of maybe 3 or 4 friends or whatever, and then we throw in on an Airbnb, and then this person might know 3 or 4 other guys, so they might throw in on an Airbnb. So it's like, when we meet, it's like we're acquaintances or like mutual friends because of this one person, but nobody's gonna like get together in the house and then just like start assuming or trying to figure out who is what or what is going on. It's like, I don't want to say it's like assumed that everybody's heterosexual, but it's just kind of like everybody, it's like you do you know what I'm saying? And I mean, as far as that goes, it's like, I don't know, it's not really that big of a deal. It's not that serious. I see myself sitting there trying to like interrogate somebody or trying to every day, hey, by the way, you never answer my question. Are you straight or are you gay? Like, that's so 10 years old. I don't know. It's crazy.
Well, let me ask you this question, because I know the reckless is bursting out his seems to be ignorant. That's not his seems to be ignorant, girl. But let me ask you this question to knockout. So you say that it wouldn't matter to you. So does that mean that, like, so let's say you didn't know someone was gay or bisexual or whatever, would that change the way you interpret their behavior towards you? Like, if they wrestled you like any other heterosexual would wrestle you or tackle you or whatever your straight friends would do, would you also give the same grace, even if you knew a guy was gay, but kind of doing those same touchy-feely things that sometimes straight guys like to tease each other and do with each other?
Well, what's crazy is like you'll be in high school playing varsity football, playing varsity basketball with these guys, and a lot of these guys play D1 college football, or you know what I'm saying, like play sports, and it'll be unbeknownst to you, but you're sitting there, smacking. I remember the football players, we would be coming in for practice, and football team's huge, it's like 70 something guys or whatever, but they would be running out of the locker room like chasing each other, like twirling up the towels and like trying to hit each other and shit. Like, I vividly remember that, and we would be like, that's so like you know what I'm saying? And then like
there's a lot of homoerotic behavior that goes on between
in the locker room, and a lot of people they sit there and won't believe it, but it's very true.
It is. You know what's so funny? I was so cute as a gay guy growing up that the straight guys used to flirt with me, even knowing that I was gay. But because I wasn't one of those gays who made a big to-do, they knew I wasn't going to literally take it seriously. They knew that I wasn't going to like be like, oh, he's really coming on to me. They would be very comfortable, like openly complimenting me or like saying like gay shit, like, oh, I want Davion to be my boyfriend. Like, like just saying like really gay shit. And I would laugh. It was funny as fuck to me too. And so straight, so
not you had to trade.
Well, I remember like 8th grade, there was a I mean, it was a guy, but he's like, I guess he identified more as a girl, but this was like, I was in 8th grade. Conscious, I'm real young, so 8th grade for me, 2009. 2008, something like that. So you know, it's still like one of those things to where it's like being gay wasn't like, it was like, you know, we definitely had like gay people, but there was like this kind of air of like tension, I guess you could say, or something like that. So anyway, the guy looked, he had, you know, long hair, was like real slender, I guess, but like, I don't know, I guess kind of met the part. But anyway, one of the guys on the football team ended up like somebody had walked outside and seeing them like making out in the courtyard. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Come on, Trey.
And I mean, like after that, we didn't see him in school. I think he changed schools or something like that. But I was like, wow.
Let me tell you something, a knockout. There's a couple on YouTube. I forgot their name. They are a melanated, same gender loving couple. And their story had went viral because one of the guys was like the classic openly gay guy in high school, and the other guy is the was like the classic athlete. And they ended up being together because one day, one of the lovers, the one who thought he was straight or was straight, was double dared to go up to the gay guy and kiss him during a basketball game.
Wow.
I mean, a football game or some shit. And the guy took his friends up on the bet, and the nigga actually ended up kissing the guy, and it ended up giving him butterflies.
Oh, wow.
And this led to a whole
relationship,
self-discovery and long term, and they've been together ever fucking since. Fucking nuts.
Have you seen Benzino in his situation?
I've heard about it, but I have not been able to go directly into his drama. But I've heard something about a Red Roof Inn and a dude and some shit, and I'm just like, Lord have mercy.
Reckless, have you seen it? Have you seen the video?
I've heard about it.
Oh, y'all need to see the video. I guess they must have just released the video, but he's like, well, if this was two white guys, y'all wouldn't be doing this, you know. If this was a white couple, and it's like, whoa, wait. So,
oh wow, look. Me and Reckless might just go, like, we might check that out and have to come back. I ain't heard that on yet.
Yeah, y'all have to definitely check that out. That's gonna be, that's gonna be one.
Yeah, I have to get into it. Are you sticking around for the whole review?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be.
Okay, cool. Now, Reckless, I know you wanted me to pull up this comment, and you had some shit to probably say that I said about what I said. So go ahead, bro.
Okay, so I do want to say this because you did say that about people assuming that they're DL and stuff. Here's the thing: there's a distinction between Curtis and Moolah. Curtis, you could tell he doesn't, you can tell it's kind of foreign to him. You know, he's a little bit uncomfortable, all these different types of things. But the difference between Curtis and Moolah makes it a statement, his business, to always say, I'm straight. What Moolah here what Curtis he probably say it once or twice or whatever, or he'd be like, okay, whatever. You could tell there's a difference when it comes down to reaction. Now, I will say, do I believe that they're sword brothers? I don't believe that. But however, I do believe that there is something going on, whether that's him just being extremely ignorant. Because also keep in mind too, yes, he done did all this. I know everybody trying to give him a pass, but he's also doubling down in his recent IG post. And he's also doubling down when he goes to actually have the conversation with Carry On. So that's why I'm not giving him no pass at the end of the day. Now, this whole comment says I have a husband, cousins, nephews, sons. They all said that they would want to know because the way that the lines don't get crossed, disrespect doesn't occur. But here's the thing: in order for that to happen, in order for anything to happen, it has to be consensual. I think another thing too, people are just assuming just because someone may be homosexual, that means that just because I like someone like you, don't mean I'm attracted to you. Which means that yes, I can be attracted to men, but that doesn't mean I don't have a type. Or that doesn't mean just because you are maybe attracted to me physically, that sometimes for me, when I see a motherfucker open their mouth and they say some dumb ass shit, that turns me off quick. So I think that's also and that also goes to the whole thing too. As in, you just making the assumption that I just may go to that extent of going to the point of touching you without being unwarranted. I might even go to try to kiss you, and that goes a little bit to the. Excuse me, y'all. I'm finna use strong language. Well, be careful, knockout. Predatory behavior, and that's the issue because you're just assuming that I'm gonna go that far with you when you don't even know what's my type, bitch. You barely don't even know my goddamn name, and who the fuck are you to sit up and tell me that I need to disclose something to you? Keep in mind, we are in the Bad Boys Club house, which means that literally I can literally be on a bus sitting right next to the bitch for the whole season. I'm probably gonna be knocking their ass left and right, and vice versa. So why would I give you all of my information right then and there? Like,
I had defined homophobia in the previous review as the fear of gay men doing to straight men what straight men do to women.
Mm-hmm.
That's why there is a fear of being preyed upon by other gay men, that this man will take me or dominate me, because men subconsciously know that this is the same energy generally that they lead with when it comes to women.
Yes,
it's energy of domination. So I'm not surprised that Mula is acting fearful or whatever the case may be. And then to Knockout's point, when it comes to the institutionalization of Dade County jail, it just revs it all up. But let's move further along in the dialogue, because Christopher Milan here also chimes in, and he gets in the middle of this conversation. What do you guys think about that? Because I'm going to be honest, this was one of the, because, I kind of keep my foot on Milan, but this is one of the first roses I'm going to give him. The first, like, okay, girl, like 2 snaps for you. Because I actually appreciate everything that Milan was doing in this pull-up. Mula still didn't get it, though. Like his takeaway was, I should have worded things differently than I did to Carry On. No, you dumbass bucktooth bitch. You should know that your intention behind the question was the problem. Your desire to ask Carry On whether he was gay. Like that's what that was about. But what did y'all feel about his exchange? I'm
probably gonna go last. I'm probably gonna go off.
Because well, let me go ahead and get all my damn thoughts out then. What I also like was Milan kind of speaking about the way that like gay men are preyed upon, in like gay black men specifically are preyed upon in the black community. Like that was everything. Just the fact that our orientation alone, or we may not even be out, because let's also be clear. There are like men experiencing hate crimes who make up 2 different classes. The men who announce and proclaim to be gay, who are being witch hunted against. But then there's the men who are assumed to be gay, who may not even be gay, just because they operate maybe more effeminately. They have a more softer demeanor, who also inherit some of the violence unto themselves. And I liked how Milan was trying to share those experiences, that to be gay and black in the black community is literally a fearful thing. That your sexuality, being gay alone, can warrant people, make them feel that they have a license to rob you, to assault you, to beat you, and sometimes, unfortunately, even take your life because of, once again, that societal fucking conditioning. Because you know what happens when you live in a culture that others people and uses religion to do that, is you other people to the point of dehumanizing those people. And when you dehumanize them, you can justify disposing of them. You can justify the mistreatment of them. You can justify treating those people and doing those people any kind of way you want without a conscience, because you have a societal license to behave this way. So I like that Christopher Milan was giving all of that up, even though these two dumbass Flintstone niggas still just, it didn't mean shit. It ain't laying nowhere, unfortunately. Moolah was still, Moolah's just dumb to me. I'm gonna be honest. Like when I look at Moolah, it's like all the lights are on, girl, but nobody's occupying the goddamn room. It's just like there's really nothing there. There's no substance there. There's no grit there. It's just all air between both fucking ears. Like, it's just stupid. Knockout Media.
See how times have changed.
Feel as a straight man listening to Christopher Milan attempt to like get these guys to understand why the way they approach and the energy they lead from can be very triggering for queer black men.
Well,
experiences.
I think everything in his response was you can't argue against any of those points, and you definitely like it's very true. So I think that's why Moolah was just kind of sitting there quiet, is because there's nothing he can argue against, because you know things that he was saying are like perpetuating these same fight. Like literally, that's what you would hear probably a 13-year-old you know saying on the street or something like that, but probably where he's from. You know what I'm saying? And it's like this peer pressure, because if he agrees with him, or if he shows any kind of empathy, he's going to be looked at as different in his circle, he feels like. So yeah, I think Moolah wasn't, even though Milan was coming from a sincere place and really trying to be genuine and like learn him something, Moolah is going to be like just stuck in that same rut, because again, that's like what his circle probably just wants him to understand. Now, Curtis was just trying to he wanted to get his looks back. I don't think he was listening at all. He wanted to fight. Because also all he came back to was like the whole, we need a box, or
you a fade, nigga. You a fair one, nigga.
So he was just kind of really trying to see if there was going to be something more, probably like some water throwing or something like that. But I think Milan, like at first when I saw him walk over, I was like, oh damn, I think he's about to try to like get into it again. But he doesn't really seem like that type of person. Like even though he does turn up or whatever, he doesn't seem like he's quick to like always have to be on site. So that's what I do respect about him. Now Anthony, the one from Houston, I like lost really all respect for him, because it's like he was trying to be on the same tip that Milan was, but the next day, you know, he's like, oh, same thing with Moolah. Oh yeah, I was drunk. I don't know what happened last night. I don't know what's going on. So it's like, you know,
that was his insurance to not get his ass whooped, because he really don't want no smoke unless there's security around.
He really doesn't want no confrontation at all with anybody. Yeah. So I mean that does make sense, but yeah, I think Moolah is just way too far gone at this point, as far as like coming to a point of understanding, and that's sad. It's sad because that means his mind is closed off to other things as well. You know what I'm saying? Not just you know, sexuality, but other things.
I want to say before you go, because I'm gonna let you dump Reckless. I do want to say too, I don't agree with Milan apologizing to Curtis for rearranging the back of his fucking braids with them damn uppercut. Carry On was being jumped at one point, and that assault on Carry On was really one upon the entire fucking house. So as far as I'm concerned, the entire goddamn house understood the assignment and executed a whoop ass upon Papoose and Lil Bow Weezy.
Period.
So yeah,
well, I mean, I don't think Moolah's coming from a place of trying to segregate the house, though. I don't think he. No. That's me being the devil's advocate. I think honestly.
This is not time to be devil's advocate.
Because your ass is the goddamn enforcer too. So now we got.
This is coming from a, I guess, like, you know, again, like the
so
heterosexual
what did you feel
point
he was
of view.
trying to do?
So okay, so I think he feels like, okay, obviously they're the minority in the house, them being the only two heterosexual men, and I guess he felt like, okay, well, if Carry On's gonna be hanging out with us, he needs to be completely, like, absolutely straight, or else he has to be hanging out with y'all, because if we go out and we want to go, you know, and this is his logic. I'm not saying this is what any other straight man is thinking or any other heterosexual man is thinking. I'm just saying for him, this is what I'm speculating on. It's like he feels like, okay, if we're gonna go to the club and we're gonna be around trying to get women, and you're trying to, or you leave with a dude, then we're gonna lose our chances with the women, which is obviously it's not like that. Like, but in his mind, that's how he figures things are. But it's crazy to me because he's all the way across the country, you know what I'm saying, in a different state, in LA, which is way different from New York as far as the, you know, how people view sexuality. So it's like, you know, those, I mean, I would just think regularly, like, you know, gay men and straight men are gonna coexist in these different spaces no matter where you go, especially if you're gonna be around celebrities or whatever the case. So it's like for him to be that closed off, it's like if he's trying to be a mogul or like this radio show, it's like it's really making him look terrible because he's not open. And like he said, he had Milan on his show before, so I don't understand the whole like being.
That's why I said on earlier. See, that was a controlled distance and a controlled that was a controlled circumstances where he could control the proximity. So you know, a lot of people can tolerate you as long as you at a distance. But see, once he was directly in the thick of it by having to live with these guys and be with these guys and cohabit with these guys, then there was another level of
and I feel like that's just a clout situation, because it's like you just had Milan on for the reason of like he was hot at the time, and then now that y'all are like actually having to be together, now it's a problem. But go ahead, Reckless, because I mean,
because here's the thing, because it's really, because Moonlight, he really be irking my soul, because the whole thing is this. I understand you the whole thing, like, and this is the reason why whenever we have these tough conversations, which is another reason why Milan had to give the racism reference, is because this is the reason why we tell people that you don't want to get rid of racism. You want to copy and paste it, Control Alt Delete it, and modify it to your liking. And so where you can become the white man, also use the same formula of oppression. Because the whole thing you talk about his logic of saying, oh, if we want to go straight out, you know, you have to be completely straight with us. And this is the same example that I give people all the freaking time. When it comes to biracial people who do not claim their black side, white people will come up to them, ask them, are you black? I have no problem with black people, but however, once I get confirmation that you are black, you have to start using those water fountains over there. So what is the difference? So that's the whole thing where I'm not understanding that part. And then on top of that, I don't understand what he didn't get when you signed up for the show. This is bad. It comes from Bad Girls Club. Anybody, I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Everybody knows Bad Girls Club. Most of their audience were either gay men or women. Now, straight men did watch the show, but if you know and you actually watched the show, you knew what the audience.
But you got to keep in mind. You got to keep in mind. But hold on. But you got to keep in mind if you're not giving any information about the show, and you also are straight yourself, then you have reason to believe that this could possibly be an all straight cast, because if it was a gay one, then obviously you wouldn't be qualified to be there. So there was reason for him to assume maybe there was going to be some gay guys, or maybe he just didn't even think about it at all until he just arrived at it and saw that the majority of the room was queer men, which still should not have been a damn problem. But go ahead.
My point exactly. It should not have still been a problem. Now, when it comes down to Milan, I like the way that he came in. He was like, hey, what's going on, bitches? Came right in, and then they was talking about what you did was some BS. He checked them right then and there, because that's some shit I would have did. No, what the fuck y'all hoes did was some BS. Yeah, you can get mad about me pop you upside your head, but however, the same way you popped in that fight, I popped your ass right back out. So yes, you talk about some Moolah talking about some, it was his energy. I hate when he said it, because you're starting from the middle. What about your energy when you was asking him a question that didn't concern you? What happened about your energy when you was talking, saying stuff? I'm gonna ask you again, as if he's obligated to tell you. What was your energy when you was sitting there, kept asking the boy, making your facial expressions, doing all this stuff? But the whole thing behind it, you want to start from the middle, where he, after carrying on, got fed up with your ass. And keep in mind, he was also intoxicated as well. So where he's getting fed up with you, and then he give you the same energy that you was giving him. That shit was annoying as fuck. I was like, girl. And then on top of that, You talking about some and then you issue an apology to Milan, and then when you get into goddamn that other thing, when you go talk to Carry On, I didn't hear not damn bit of apology come out your goddamn mouth. I'm telling you, throughout the whole scene, I kept screaming, "Where the fuck is the apology, bitch? Where the fuck is the apology?" He kept talking about, "Are you gay or straight?" Bitch, fuck that. Where's the apology? Never got it. And the thing is too that's getting me too, and this also another thing that came up when he talked about the gay people that I know. They put it out there. And remember, I said, I think the last live, I said I think we're also making assumptions that he doesn't have proximity to queer people. So this whole giving him a pass, as in he don't have people around him to let him know, I kind of like, girl, whatever. Because at the end of the day, I thought about it, I said he owns a radio station, and people talk about all the time how much gay people are within the industry and this gay agenda. So you mean to tell me you have a radio station and you don't know not damn gay motherfucker up in there? Or you don't have proximity to all gay people? But at the end of the day, it also depends on what kind of gay person that you do have, because you might have a self-hating motherfucker as well, aka Miss Monroe herself. So, girl, it was just a lot going on.
But let's also be very clear and very realistic here. Like straight men like Moolah, when they are referencing the gay people they know, they don't actually mean the word KNOW. The gay people that they are associated and acquainted with, because there's not a lot of black straight men like Moolah who go out of their way to actually develop nuanced relationship to the gay men in their life. So they may have a gay coworker, they may have a gay cousin, and beyond very like surfacey gelling, it ain't like there's no in-depth relationship bonding happening and no real questioning and answering and education really going. So when he said that, I did not actually imagine or take seriously that he knows other gay people. I mean, I know he, sure, probably has proximity to gay men. I mean, he's in the industry, so he's bound to do that. Maybe he got him in his family. But just like the gay men, I mean, just like the straight men in my family, they just love Davion. But they know they don't get all up in my gay shit. They don't get all up in my personal life. They ain't asking me how it feels. They ain't asking me about my experience, but they also ain't mistreating me either. They just showing me love, and that's enough for me.
Being gay under contract. I said it's something I like to call being gay under contract, as in you're the exception. So
and well, I'm not going. Well, I can't speak for the straight men in my family, because they may just be loving people to all people. But what I can say is that they are loving and accepting of me. But to your point about the whole Moolah knowing gay people, like even my uncles and cousins, like they love me, they hug me, we go out to the club, they come over, they smoke. It's like we have a regular relationship. Like I'm not treated any differently than anybody else, but I'm also aware and can see that they don't necessarily make it their business either to concern themselves with my orientation. Now, that may be argued to be a good thing or a bad thing. So what I'm saying is that I know that Moolah, I think for the men in my life, they just don't care. They just don't give a fuck. Like they just don't give a fuck. Like they know that I have had boyfriends. They've met my boyfriends in the past. They've always been cordial, always been friendly, always been loving. My brother has jailed really well with all of my niggas. Like, it's never been any issue. But I know that Moolah is not. He ain't doing no Q&A with the queer people in his life. He just
he most definitely doing a Q&A April 29th. And okay, that's another thing I do want to say, because he did talk about his whole IG, which is another reason why I'm kind of on 10 again, because when I seen that, because during the episode, I was like, okay, cool. But when I seen that shit made me mad. On IG or whatever, he's about to have like a podcast talk or whatever. It's going to have Christopher Milan. Here's the thing, is that when they want to have these conversations, that don't get me wrong, I'm gonna try to see it. I'm gonna see how it goes with Christopher Milan. But the whole thing is this. is that they always want to have a face there, but they don't really want real people that really know what they were talking about, that can really know the nuances and really can debate and really challenge everything that they said. They never want to bring a Hope Giselle up over there to really have the real conversation where they really want to learn. They never want to bring an Ashley Marie Preston over there. They never want to bring all the other gay the knowledgeable gay activists. But they always want to have like that, either the I hate the pick-me's.
I'm gonna be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's something that the pick-me's need to inform.
Mm-hmm.
Like the pick-me's need to be sacrificial in that way. Like the problem is straight people not gonna know to go to a Hope Giselle because they're not even that far into the community to even know that we all up in this bitch. They don't even know that there's more qualified people to speak about these issues than maybe the queer people they're coming immediately into contact with. And of course, Christopher Milan is not going to give up that seat, or at least open up a co-host seat next to him to have that conversation with Milan, because when you got so much egotism and narcissism, you're going to make even valuable moments that are about your community still about you.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't expect that from straight people. Straight people don't know to go to Hope Giselle, but the gay people do. And they should be the ones. They're going to have to be the ones to be like, you know what? I got somebody better than even me to have my ass up there. You should have A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. This would be a great opportunity and a great exchanging bill. Or can I bring A, B, C, D, E, F, G? Like when Malik Yoba went to the Breakfast Club and he was on his whole allyship for trans women shit, and he brought all those trans women to the Breakfast Club with him and those activists and allowed them to take the microphone too. Mm-hmm. That's one, but I don't expect that from straight niggas. But let's move along through that. I did like the conversation. I appreciated Milan in this moment. Gutter. When him, Darrell, and goddamn Carry-On was on that goddamn rooftop,
bitch,
and that damn Brandy sitting up in my room, 60 inches of goddamn Cacalonian braids to my ankles ass nigga said, wait, what? Do you want to eat my ass with my makeup on? I repented to God. When that nigga literally said, because the context of this conversation was they were talking about how pressed Milan was about carrying on sexuality, and Gutter was just going off like, damn, why this nigga so pressed? Why this nigga so pressed? Like, what? Like, you want to eat my ass with my makeup on or something? Eat my ass with my makeup on. Why is that? I was trying to figure out, why did his brain make sense of the two? Why were the two things? My ass being with my makeup on. Like, I can't deal with fucking Gutter.
I live for it.
I get my life off of Gutter. Like,
it's a tattoo on the neck. Like,
I was so mad when she got that. I was like, girl, why the fuck would you do that?
Well, okay, so what is Gutter like? Because though, you know how they showed in the premiere how they were going around like in Subway and then like, you know, going on the street pole and stuff like that. Like, is that just part of their character, or like where does that come from?
No, okay, so Gutter, he's known for making viral videos where he do stupid stuff.
And he's a star.
Yes. And also he does music. He's a rapper. He can rap too. So that's where that came from. But he initially got famous because of that video that they showed of him doing
acting a plum fool.
Yeah.
Right.
Just acting a plum fool.
Yeah. And now it's the clout. But I mean, he said he's only 21, so I was like, doing better than me. Shit.
I mean, he's doing what? I mean, he got a good thing going for himself.
Right.
Yeah, he got his whole life ahead of him. Him getting started this early and already having
a
this
brand,
much viral equity under his belt, like, oh yeah, I mean, he can have a very promising long-term career if he knows how to.
Well,
if he knows how to flex it.
Before we continue on, I was gonna ask. So, did you think Andrew Caldwell like took a hit with his career with this, or did it boost him?
I think I ain't gonna flex. I think it kind of boosted him in a well. I will say this. I think it boosted him as in watching wise, as in I would love to see him on TV. But however, behind the scenes when it comes to breaking contracts and stuff, that's not a good look.
No, not in the industry. But I guess like as far as like playing into the whole reality star drama thing, like he's got it down pretty packed.
But I think he'll be a bit of a liability because they don't know what the hell he's gonna do.
Any type of commercial success for Andrew is going to work in his favor because he's just unfortunately America's a giddy pig. Yeah. Like, people love to hate on him, people love to laugh at him, people love to see him make a fool of his damn self. So
he doesn't mind. Yeah, he doesn't mind being the fool. But
so it's going to work. Now, this whole thing here. Darrell adds more context for why he knocked the white supremacy out of Lady Gaga, and it made sense, even though it was just as wrong, and it was only a narcissistic ass justification for his actions, but it did add more context. However, because the mayonnaise hoes came on acting blacker than black, I wasn't mad at them hoes being jumped into the gang to prove whether they would fold or whether they a hoe. And the jury is still kind of out. What did y'all think of Darrell's explanation for why he tag teamed the Olsen twins, saying that at least for him and William, aka Lady Gaga, he has a habit of talking a whole bunch of shit all the time and not making good on his hood. So Darrell just was sick of it, and it was like, motherfucker, you gonna run a fade today, bitch. You be talking all this shit, bitch, all the time, girl. Today, girl, you gonna prove your motherfucking thug card, girl. We gonna pull liquor out for your motherfucking ass today, bitch. You gonna have to rob a bank. You gonna have to shoot a gun, bitch. Today, you gonna have to do something to be with us, bitch. What did y'all think about that justification for him whipping William's ass? Go ahead, Rick.
Okay, so I got two things I do want to say to that. Well, actually, probably one or two things, but I will say this. Now, when it came down to him doing Dylan and stuff, I was like, oh, okay, it makes sense because Miss Ass So Big, like the son Williams, is his friend. I was like, okay, cool. But then when it made sense for when he talked about William, like, you know, Ass So Big, like the son or whatever, I was like, oh, okay, I get it. But then it kind of lost me a little bit. The reason why it kind of lost me because later on he talked about him and Milan, aka Crystal Ball fight, and he was like, you know, be quite honest, I was gonna size Milan up because, you know, like anyway, because, you know, and kind of see what that was because, you know, I like him. And so the first thing that popped in my head, so you just go around fighting all your friends, bitch. So if that's the case, bitch, I might as well be your enemy because, bitch, you ain't gonna be putting your hands on me and thinking we still gonna be friends after that. I'm sorry. Okay, that's it.
I ain't mad at it. Knock out.
Oh, I'm here.
Yes, come on, do laundry. Yes.
I'm here.
So I was going to ask you, like, would you have adhered to the same pressure if you had a friend who talked a whole bunch of shit but never did nothing? Would you eventually get so frustrated that you would make that motherfucker fight, or you would fight their ass?
No, that's ridiculous. That sounds like so Louisiana. It's not even funny. If you ask me. I no shade to anybody from Louisiana, but like
Popeye's chicken.
I know people from Louisiana to fight. Like they have like a fighting culture out there. It seems like, and that's some shit that they would say. You know what I'm saying out there. But I mean, as far as that, I mean, to be honest, like I don't think I've really ever been with anybody that fights like that anyway. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it don't really matter to me, but nah, I wouldn't like that's such a crazy standard. Now don't get me wrong. It seemed like William and Dylan, right? Is that one?
Yes.
It seemed like both of
Justin
them.
Bieber.
Yeah, it seemed like
I call
Justin
ass so
Bieber.
big like the sun in Twilight.
But
It ain't even big.
both of them, it seemed like they just really talk. Like they don't really
Mhm.
like, fight like that. And then of course they knew they were coming on like the Bad Boys Club, so they had to kind of essentially like turn up, but like a fake turn up. You know what I'm saying? So I don't
This
think
shit is
I don't think any of it's real. I just think they are doing it just to be a part. And then like the craziest thing about this episode was William's outfit when they went out.
Oh, we're gonna get into all that too. Oh yeah.
oh bitch. I couldn't
Yeah.
believe. Wait, put that
Just
up.
say,
Wait,
hold on, just save it because we're gonna get there. You know, I like to go in chronological order here.
Yeah.
wait, put
Yeah.
that comment up for me, please.
Which comment?
This shit is whack. They need to fight. I feel like I'm watching.
The show is whack.
Yeah, the show is whack.
The show is whack. They need to
I feel
fight.
like I'm watching
the Bad Girls Club.
It's probably worse than Bad Girls Club because at least they were actually
it's
fighting.
way worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I ain't never seen this much blood on no reality show. Like, I mean, it's been blood in the land for the past 3 episodes. But no matter what we think about Darrell, I just want y'all to always remember that him fighting them 2 mayonnaise hoes, it worked, bitch. It worked because he turned them. He took them hoes from being Nicki Minaj and Cardi B to the Clinton daughters.
Do they both really rap? They seriously rap?
No, just ass so big like the sun.
There's nothing they do seriously but imitate real niggas. That's the only thing that ain't nothing serious about these hoes. Okay.
Yeah. I was trying to figure out like where did Dylan come from because they said he was like a promoter from Tennessee or something like that. So I was like, how did you even get on the show?
But he owns a club. Well, all of them apparently are like well known in their field. Yeah, mm-hmm. So they're like they got all that going on. But here's the thing too, with Justin Bieber, like literally, Justin is so traumatized. Like he is so traumatized from that fried chicken, cornbread, sweet potato pie, candy yams, collard green country, Alabama ass whipping that he got from Darrell, from where the liquor resides, and he just looks so visibly uncomfortable, intense, and awkward in his body. Do y'all be every time the camera on this nigga, his eyes are twitching, like he like paranoid, he like stiff, he awkward. Like, and I'm just like, I don't even like looking at him. Like, I just like, get this away from me. Like, he want to go home so bad, but he can't because it's too much. It would just add to all the bitch assness that already done took place. And I just can't. Like, it does something to me.
And keep in mind too, William, he actually looked more comfortable compared to Twilight, bitch. because with Twilight, bitch, his shoulders always look lifted up. Like that bitch got shoulders and got them Dorinda Clark sheared, bitch. He had that's what his shoulders like always like up to here.
Now I got a question. So out of all the people in the house, it seemed like they're the only 2 that have like a connection like that. You know what I'm saying?
Who?
Now.
Who?
Yeah.
Who?
And their only connection the knockout is a trauma bond.
Word.
No, they don't.
They both got their ass whooped. That's why they close.
Mm-hmm. No,
and they have to be roommates for the time.
Yeah,
that's true.
I disagree.
Yeah, it's a trauma bond.
But I mean, Reckless. But who else in the house is vibing with them? You know what I'm saying?
No, but I'm saying I disagree that they even do anything because like have a bond is because because in the confessional he talking shit about the same bitch. He talking about we cool or whatever. But I
think he mean like a bond in terms of like they obviously have formed a sense of community amongst each other, and that's really because they both were proven to be lames, and they kind of have no choice but to be conjoined and to feed off of each other.
Right. Well, actually, I think a couple of them have done that. Of course, them too.
Because Carry On would essentially be talking to them because, like, Carry On was like, "Oh, I'm a loner or whatever," and I don't mess with anybody else in the house. But it's like, well, okay, so you don't mess with obviously 2 straight guys. I guess Milan and Anthony he don't mess with, and then if you don't mess with the 2 white boys, then it's like,
well,
okay, so with Gutta and Darrell,
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Oh yeah.
one of the bonds in the house that I have been seeing form, and which I do like, besides Gutta and Carry On, is Gutta and Darrell. Which is why, like, during that whole scene or whatever, when this previous scene right before is when Darrell was asking those questions and kind of throwing shade a little bit. It was coming off like, bitch, we done talked about this, so now I'm gonna put you on the blast. Do y'all have something going on? So for me, I started to notice that. I was like, okay, I can see that they have a bond growing. And even later on in the episode, he was like, he even said, Gutta, he's real funny to me and stuff. You can tell that they get along.
They not contentious at all. Yeah.
I also want to just lighten up, but not to lighten up, to take like a more serious turn. This conversation was like a full circle moment to me as well for the LGBT men at large, despite all of the racial barriers. To hear Justin Bieber articulate verbatim the same oppressive and violent experiences that him and his mayonnaise community face for being queer. And just when you thought like you literally had them fucking heard it all, Lady Gaga goes and tells us that he was dating a whole black woman named Infinity Toyota.
That's part of the script. It's part of the script.
And how he practically used her blackness and gender as a damn shield, aka a black card, so that he didn't have to get treated like an outsider at his school, which I assume is predominantly black.
And the whole thing, that was the first thing that came to my mind. I was like, oh, so I wondered, was that her personality that your ass downloaded and starting to use, bitch?
Had to be.
I'm like, if this is how you had planned on carrying on in high school, I see why you had to fake it till you motherfucking make it, because them real ass niggas wasn't gonna let you get away with Culture Vulture and Raw. They wasn't gonna let you get away with all that fake ass a city girl, shit girl. You gonna get that ass ragged and toe tag, baby. If you thought you could come around real niggas with this fake ass black shit, Raw.
Bitch, when I tell you, bitch, you're a Culture Vulture, you're gay, and you in rap, bitch, they was not gonna let you pass, bitch.
But see, the thing is okay, look, where I'm from, nobody like beat up anybody that was gay or anything like that. Like, if you're gay, then people left you alone for the most part. You know what I mean? Well, I mean, at least from what I seen, like, like the crowd I hung out with, like nobody I knew was like beating up on gay people just because they was gay. And plus, the gay people in my school could fight. Maybe that was the other thing too.
Yeah, and see, and Lady Gaga ain't even got that redemptive quality.
I can't even fight.
Oh,
yeah, I mean,
wait.
He completely shit. He shit out of luck in the situation.
Since we talk about fight, it was something that he said that stuck out to me when he was like, "Oh, I'm an emotional gangster" and all the different other things. But then he said, talk about some, even though I'll be with that rah, that doesn't mean I have to be fighting and stuff. And like,
exactly. Well, see, that's like,
the whole thing. Wait. The whole thing behind it, and I said this in my live. I said, should not does not mean could not. So with that being said, yes, people should not put their hands on you, but that doesn't mean that they could not if they don't want to. So the whole thing is that I understand people don't have the philosophy of fighting and all the different, but however, let's be very clear, in a world where we have different views, not everybody's gonna do that. So with that being said, you ain't gonna be rah with 40 different people and expect not 20 of them to whoop your ass. That's what I'm saying.
Hold on, girl. Hold on. But wasn't Selena Gomez and goddamn Britney Spears
Demi Lovato
double daring Andrisha Cockwell to jump up out her motherfucking
exactly
a corset, girl, and they was gonna give him a mayonnaise ass whooping, girl?
Exactly, which is like, that's why I was appalled. I was like, I know this bitch did not just say what I think this bitch just said. And I'm like, weren't you just about to? But then when you got your ass whooped, all of a sudden you now, bitch, make it make sense. And I was like, and here's the thing, I don't want people thinking I'm over promoting violence. I'm just being realistic. It's nothing wrong with you.
We promote righteous. I promote righteous violence. I believe in violence.
But the whole thing is that it's nothing wrong with you sticking up for yourself, and because there are ways to do that without actually having to get physical. But don't go around talking shit to people and think not one of them gonna slap the living shit out of you.
Is that a thing in the LGBTQ community? Is that
What?
like white homosexual men and black homosexual men have like one is more aggressive than the other, or one is more real than the other, or whatever? Like, is that a
It's a lot of shit up in here.
well,
it's a lot of shit up in here. But
Like,
I do.
what you mean? Hold on. Can you expound upon the question a little bit more, Knockout?
so
But I
like
can understand what you're asking.
so like are white gay men, do they feel like they're in a like more superior spot than black gay men, or is there like a condescending?
Subconsciously.
Yeah, is there like a? I guess what I'm trying to say is like, just like, I mean, obviously in the world, like we have, white versus black, whatever, but do you have sour cream people against the black people in the LGBTQ community
Yes.
as well?
Oh, if you're asking,
Yes.
is there prevalent?
Is there racism? I guess.
Yeah,
Is what I'm trying to say.
is there prevalent racism within the LGBT? Absolutely, yes.
Oh,
Like,
wow.
Yes.
it's very clear, it's very explicit, it's very segregated in terms of the racial.
Well, it's crazy because I've
Which
seen a
is-
lot of interracial couples. It
Well, you're
seems-
gonna. I mean, but there's
Well-
interracial straight couples, despite there still being.
That's true.
I mean, it's going to be that. You know, I mean, and I'm not saying that the white LGBT community at large is racist, but there's obvious racism
divide.
that is perpetuated there for sure.
Which is another reason why. Mhm.
So mayonnaise queer men are not exempt from also being racist. Yeah.
Well, another thing I was gonna say too, which is another reason why we have pride and we have black gay pride, and which is why ballroom scene, if you don't know what that is, exists, because a lot of times, like when it comes down to black queer people, they weren't allowed in the certain spaces that white queer people were even able to be in. So that's why you have all these things like throwing shade, like ballroom scene, like voguing, and all these different types of things that come from black gays. But however, white gays, since they are gay, take from that, and then just
oh wow,
it's effect after that. So.
So it's no different than the heterosexual or just the world in general.
Yeah, no, it's the same world.
Wow.
That's why black gay men just be like really over the like homophobia and transphobia and shit within the black community, because it's like, child, we are having the same nigger experience. Regardless. So it's like there's no special privilege that black gay men really have. Like we're having the same.
And then to have other black men pile on to that with more discrimination and shit. Okay, so
that was another thing. That was another thing. I'm sorry. I had a
no, go ahead, Rick. Let's go ahead.
Let the guests be able to get shit out, honey. You gonna be up on this motherfucker all season, already done rage all over on your own shit. Then coming over here,
I'm gonna mute myself.
Go ahead, knock out. Jumping out of her tail.
I ain't never seen Reckless like this.
That bitch is tweaking.
No, Reckless, what are we gonna say though? I want to know what Reckless gonna say, because
I just had a flashback of what because the reason why I'm kind of like this is because I was cool when I was watching the episode, but when I was going through everybody Instagrams and stuff, and I see the shit that Milan was posting, it just reminded me. This is the shit that really irks my souls when they say gay people have more rights than straight people. What rights do we have? What, marriage? I want to know what are the other rights. I want y'all to go into detail. What are the other rights that we actually have that you guys do not have access to?
I'm going to tell you, Reckless, the only right we as black gays have is the right to be accused for everything that's wrong with the damn black community, girl. Everything that's wrong, gay men did it, baby. These niggas can't take care of their children, girl. The gay agenda did it, baby. Daddy ain't never came home from 7-Eleven, baby. The gay agenda did it, bitch. The daddies ain't allowed in the goddamn house if you're on welfare, baby. The gay agenda did it, baby.
Girl, that shit.
The gay niggas blame for every damn thing wrong, girl.
No, I'm sorry. Let me mute myself.
But let me tell you what had me hollering. Is, baby, when Justin ass pushed Lady Gaga on that damn bed and that bitch almost went through the attic, girl, I thought the planks was gonna start cracking, girl. I thought this bitch was gonna get up sounding like a high functioning ass breathing sleep apnea machine, girl. The way her ass was struggling to leverage herself back on her 2 feet. I was hollering. I didn't know Miss Lady Gaga was that out of shape, girl. You gotta be in shape to be an ass whooper, girl. You can't be out of breath from just being gently pushed on the bed.
Wait, so Joshua, I want you to explain your comment.
Yeah, because I was gonna actually ask if y'all wanted to, because when people have y'all ever got that comment like in real life or like in passing?
I mean, but let's be clear. I mean, I'm not going. Every community, like, I mean,
has a certain privilege.
If we're talking about like privilege in terms of like it being relative, yes, like gay black men have certain immunities or privileges, and I mean, and that's going to be the case for all minorities.
You can say the same thing for heterosexual
black women. Like it's things that like double standards exist across the board because privilege, is it multitasks. It multitasks in that way. So there are things that black women can get away with and are immune to, and have leverage and support in doing that. Straight black men can't do, vice versa, like all of that. So I mean, I don't know about more privilege, but does the community have privilege? I mean, yeah, in some regards, circumstances, when the moon is just right and the weather is still, girl, and the day is Wednesday, yes, like there's a certain level of favor, but favor as in favor, no.
Yeah, because the whole
favor
thing
in terms of circumstantial privilege, yes, circumstantial privilege exists.
Yeah. So the whole thing that had me stop was the more privilege. I was like, hold up now. I can understand the privilege, but more privilege, I don't know. But did anybody see Miss Ass so big? Like, what the hell? You come in? What?
Bitch,
She can't hear you. Okay, so the whole thing is like, I done lost my train of thought just that quick. You come back.
Ass so big. You still talk about Lady Gaga.
There we go. Yeah. So did anybody see Miss Ass so big like the sun with her ass crack out in her BBA?
Yeah. that first screenshot you got.
Yeah. I was like, is this bitch a plumber? The hell going on?
I had to block it out because I didn't want to get flagged, girl. I had to make sure I crop this picture out right, bitch.
Well, I was thinking like, if was that on accident or was that on purpose for the show? But
the camera probably did it on purpose, but however, that was all authentic.
Look, the cameras don't protect you. I mean, if they dawn upon you and you got a titty out, you got a titty out.
Yeah,
shit. It's reality TV in that way. What? They get a bars. So, moving along to the conversation, child. Carry on. Carry on, Lil Bow Weezy and Papoose sit down. And this is what I mean by Moolah didn't learn a goddamn thing from his talk with Milan. I mean, the struggle for goddamn active brain cells is truly goddamn for real. At this point, I just want Carry On to tell them niggas to never ask him about his personal life again unless they auditioning for the teabag session. And just let that be the line that seals the fate. Because dignifying these niggas with any other response, even a kinder response, even an answer that's kinder an answer to they ignorant ass questions, it just dissolves the opportunity for the straight twins to swallow the bigger pill in this situation, which is that queer men don't owe them motherfucking hoes a motherfucker. I would have let them goddamn hoes burn up in the flames of confusion and dread. I would have got my rocks off more by just watching them struggle in watching their privilege and entitlement be dismantled and resisted the whole goddamn season. Because I love making people wrestle with their damn self. See, the last thing you want to do to a bitch like me is let me know what your weaknesses is. Like, that's how I do my haters. If I know them hoes want my attention, oh, you done fucked up, ho. Because the way I'm about to shrivel your ass up and deprive your motherfucking ass of my attention, I know it's going to burn you up more than me feeding into your ass. And so if these motherfucking niggas, I would have thought that they were impress on my orientation, baby. I would have just loved to just have kept it real motherfucking flat and let them hoes just eat it the whole way. Because I think that it would have been possible that they would have got so desperate, they would have got so mad that the pendulum finally would have swung to the opposite end, and they would have actually got the fuck over it and realized that it wasn't actually important to know to begin with.
Well,
So sometimes you gotta let a hoe bleed out and burn up in the flames of hell in order for true organic enlightenment to take place. Instead of aiding and abetting and trying to help a dumbass motherfucker. But you about to say something I got me.
well, okay, so I had a few things about the whole conversation. Is like, well, for one, Carry On is like clearly still upset about getting punched in the face, which I would be too. I would be absolutely mad about getting punched in the face if that was like to happen, and I wasn't able to get my get back. But also I wanted to
Yeah.
your boy been exfoliating you a little bit, you know what I'm
so
saying?
close.
Crazy. But yeah, so that was my whole thing is if you get punched in the face, I think you're gonna have an issue, you're gonna have a little bit of an attitude. But the other side of it was the constant pressuring, like a pressure of, okay, so what are you? Are you straight or are you without? Are you straight? And then like make him say that, you know, it's like that whole exchange was really cringy and just real. Like if I was Curtis, I probably would have walked away. Like if it was me standing right there, I would just been like, damn, that's too just like I didn't. And if I'm Curtis as well, bro, like he looks like such a. When Carry On did say, I thought it was childish at first, but when he was like, well, it might be something funny going on between you two, which it might not be, but the whole fact of the matter that you're like following on this guy so much, like every time they show a scene in the house, y'all sit on the couch together. You know what I'm saying? Like wherever y'all at, y'all are like right next to each other and shit. And it's like, come on, bro. Like, I understand you're straight, but like, no two straight men are gonna try to make it a point that much. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Unless they've dawned upon that thing that sometimes happened in the wild, wild west of heterosexuality called bromance.
but look, that's exactly the thing. It's like I haven't been that close with no man really ever like that. Like I've always had like girl friends, you know what I'm saying, female friends, but I've never had like a bromance or anything like that. So like I wouldn't know. Like I don't go to another guy's house and chill and like nah. But I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that at all. But I think it's like to a point to where you're trying to make it like, oh, you're hanging out with it and it's like, hey, are you straight though? Are you straight? Are you straight? And it's like, what if he had found out that Curtis was gay? Or that Curtis was bisexual?
Now that'll be a damn plot twist.
Ooh, that reverse Uno card on him.
Period.
But
maybe that's see, I'm scared for Curtis because I don't know if you've seen the previous reviews knock out, but I've said that I believe that Curtis is less alpha than Moolah.
Yeah.
And he's kind of also, because Moolah is so aggressive about the straight and masculine issue, it seems to me that it's influencing Curtis a little babyyyyyy to be performative in his masculinity. Like he's trying to prove he's just as straight too, prove he's just as masculine too. And I think that they are finding a
struggle.
It's like a rational comfortability amongst each other because they both feel just as foreign in a situation. So they're sticking a little bit closer
I was about to say that.
than they normally would because they are like the only two of their species in the damn house.
But I mean, again, it's like Moolah being in prison. He even tried to use that as an excuse to somebody, to Milan, I think earlier when they were having the conversation was oh yeah, well no, I've been around gay men. I know what it's like. I know what it's like to be around and live with them and da da da. But it's like you weren't asking everybody in jail if they were gay or straight. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not. I don't know. To me, it's just not a conversation that takes place more than one time, if it even takes place. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not a consistent or like continued thing to whereas Mulan is making it like such a consistent thing that it's like I think Carry On kind of does have a legitimate, rebuttal when he's like, well, why are you, you know what I'm saying? Like, why are you so, and everybody's like, well, why are you so concerned with it unless you're really trying to like figure him out, you know what I mean? And like, or, unless you want to date him, like, what does it even matter? Which to me, are kind of like the same question.
Yeah. So, yep, and that part kind of piggybacked a little bit off of my sentiments. They hang together that way when the show ends in their minds. No one can question what if something occurred at the house. So that's a good point too. We know that homophobia involves like one of the reasons for avoiding gay people is so that you aren't classified as gay yourself, which is more of a self-esteem issue and an insecurity around your own masculinity.
That's such an old
which
way
is something.
It's weak.
But also that is what Curtis said as well. That's why he was like when he was asking Carry On, aka Neo Soul, he was like, we trying to see you gay or straight because you hang with them and you hang with us. And then Neo Soul was like, okay, so y'all not comfortable within yourselves to hang with other people? He's like, oh no, we're not saying that. But then what was the point of bringing it up? That's basically what he was saying. As in saying that, because to be quite honest, I've gotten that before from my straight friends, as in saying, as in like, they had people come up to them questioning as if they were gay because they was hanging out with me.
Reckless. You know it's funny, Reckless and Conscious. Poetic Flacco, he's been typing in the link and then coming in and conversating with us or whatever. He was questioned because of his recent coming up on the panel and having conversations and stuff like that. Just because I don't want to
say it.
It was the dude.
Yeah.
Text it to me.
Yeah,
because I don't give a Dusty free full promotion on my shit.
Yeah, I was about to say that's why I wasn't gonna say the name. But remember the one I told you that was obsessing over the whole Aaliyah thing?
Oh, it was a few of them, so I don't know.
It's one specific one.
It was a few of them, so I don't know which one.
That's my issue because now I'm finna go off.
Yeah, let me text it to you.
Just text.
Okay, so of course, while he texting that to you, I'm finna go off for a second. This is the shit that pisses me the fuck off. The shit that pisses me off is this: what is so wrong with showing somebody some decency and respect that it gets to the point to where you have to question somebody's sexual orientation just because they decided they want to treat somebody and be nice to the next bitch, as in not judging them based on the orientation, not judging them based on the gender identity, but based on the content of their character. Because bitch, let's be very motherfucking clear, bitch. The host that sits right above me right now, bitch, is more qualified than a lot of you motherfucking pussy ass niggas. So it that irritates my goddamn soul. Just because someone is sexual orientation or gender identity is a certain way, that obviously disqualifies them from being able to have a relationship with you, non-sexual relationship, a friendly relationship, because those do exist between gay people and straight people, and transgender people and straight people. They do exist. It's nothing foreign. But the whole thing is, this is the reason why a lot of you because now I'm finna act real ignorant. This is the reason why half of you fucking niggas in the same position that you are right now. Because a lot of you hoes sitting up there shitting on black women and gay people and trans people, the motherfuckers that you already say already have the goddamn privileges, the motherfuckers that already say they already got all the goddamn rights, bitch, and y'all so quick to claim black men don't have no motherfucking rights, but yet the same people that have all the goddamn rights try to go back for your stupid, ugly asses, then you turn them away. What sense does that make? Or you shit on them? Make it make sense. That shit just pissed me off.
First of all, period. Second of all, do you think that was more so about maybe I was used as a catalyst to that's really less about me, but more about Flacco? But he was berating Flacco for coming up, but he's over here too.
Let me tell you.
But he's all in the chat. I mean,
let me tell you the situation. So from what I saw, it was a screenshot of I think August Alsina, something about his phallus size or something like that. And I think Poetic Flacco, it was one of those things to where it's like like, you know, when Safari's picture had leaked, like, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like everybody's talking about it type of thing. And it's like he was essentially questioned about it, right? Like, oh, well, you've done all this this bashing on the LGBTQ community, but look at you now, da da da. I guess CTV, being on CTV's panels got to you or something like that. And I was like, wow, why does it have to be going on CTV's panels? But
he's saying that like what that poetic is
Homophobia.
behaving better because
well, like
over
not
here?
just behaving better, but like just completely going to the other spectrum of where he was at, like in terms of maybe even writing on the border of like, damn, am I gay or am I not, type of thing, which I don't think it's like that, but
This
you
is
know,
the
I think it's just because of the association with you that he's like, oh, well, because he's on Consciouztv channel, then, you know, he must be straddling the fence or something like that. Which they say that about me as well, you know.
Okay, do me a favor, because I'm about to say something. Please relay this message to the person that needs to get you. Shut the fuck up. Because that made absolutely no goddamn sense. The reason why this shit is stupid as fuck to me, because we sit up and we tell people, oh,
I got a cold, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm recovering from a cold.
He says we talk about some, we hate DL people, we hate this, we hate that, but yet you treat the people that's out in the open like shit. You disrespect the people that decide they want to have some goddamn humanity. They actually decide they want to treat people with goddamn respect like shit. But then yet you get mad at DL people. What sense does that make? That makes absolutely no damn sense. This is the reason, girl. They finna drive me insane.
This is the reason, but
please relay that message to me, to him.
This is why niggas can't and they won't come out. I want to play. Ooh, actually, we might have to come. Y'all, we need to come right back.
Yeah.
Because what you just said, hold on to it, a knockout. Because I got a perfect situation.
Okay.
That we need that we can go straight.
Well, I was just thinking about it because I was like, it's so relevant to, you know what I'm saying, what we're talking about towards the show. That it's like it's playing out right here in front of us to where it's like the whole straight versus, you know, gay thing, and it's like, you know, it really doesn't even. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, Reckless. Honestly, I if you were to know these people, you would probably lose it for real, because they. I mean,
I lose it on this damn panel all the goddamn times. Just imagine.
Man, you should have seen what they've been saying about Conscious.
Look, I just have one question for every man in that sector. Do you want to eat my ass with my makeup on or not?
This bitch.
Okay. Now, here's the thing. Let's yeah, like, so my thoughts about this scene is Carry-On was clearly trolling the fuck out of Curtis and Papoose. He don't take them hoes seriously at this point. He ain't really trying to kick it with them at this point. He just wants to agitate them just as much as they've been a thorn in his ass this entire time. So I approve of him throwing their ass right to the rubbish bin. Period. Now, when Natalie caught them motherfucking hoes and said it's time to turn up and turn out.
Wait, because my dumb ass done went in the whole damn rain. I ain't even talking about the goddamn scene. Another thing that pissed me off, when I kept trying to during this scene, the question that kept coming through my mind: where the fuck is the apology? He told Milan he was going to apologize, and Excedrin, that apology never slipped through his lips ever. Now, I will say this: what happened, just in case things happen, and he did apologize, but just didn't make the tapes. Now, I'm not gonna go on him. I'm gonna tap on the shoulders of Miss Zeus. Miss Zeus, I believe last episode or the episode before that, you literally said it's not gonna be a gay versus straight thing. That's not what y'all gonna do. But however, that's all the footage that you guys have. And then on top of that, if he did apologize, you edited it. You most definitely did edit that bad boy out. So what are we doing? Is it a gay versus straight thing, or is it not? That's it.
Well, she is kind of messy to me too, but then again, she is, you know, Natalie.
She's an executive producer. You gotta be messy.
Kind of. This is the queen of debauchery.
But I mean, I've never watched Bad Girls Club like that. But I mean,
you got to get into it.
Was it this bad for real like that, or?
Oh, it was good. Season 7.
I mean, no, yeah, it's ratchet. I mean, it's basically the female version of what you see on Bad Boys. I mean, it's fighting, hoes getting getting kicked in their stomach and having miscarriages and getting thrown downstairs, and I mean, all that going on. Pussy eating honey, it's all lesbianism. Everything going on. You got to get into it. Now, when Natalie had called them hoes and said, "Girl, we going to the turn up event, honey. Leave all your EBT wick ass psychology at the house, bitch.
Yeah,
y'all need to act like y'all know."
You know what I want to say about that got me, and I was saying the whole time that Darrell was commenting and that Milan was saying anything, or even Anthony. I was like, all of you niggas were the worst acting ones. How are y'all gonna talk about people behaving and shit and not embarrassing y'all when y'all are the worst acting one?
Exactly.
Ooh, that shit made me so mad. I was like, but they probably did that on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta still hope for the best.
Yeah,
you gotta hope for the best, honey. But let me tell you something. When they came down them steps and the fat sheet, I would be on the show to be cute, to get niggas, to make money, and to dress my motherfucking asshole off my body, bitch. My pussy would be dressed from head to motherfucking toe. You know who shit it? You know everybody who came down the runway, baby. Miss fake ass Anthony, baby. She shit it. Shit it.
There was a lot going on.
I mean, but it's LA. It's the club scene in LA. It's rich Paris Hilton. Like all I do is fuck niggas, suck dick, and make money. Like that's all I do. That's what it was given, and I was living for it. The bag, I could deal without the bag.
That I was about to say, the bag was like the outfit would actually be like it wouldn't be like
kept all them Christmas ornaments off his pants.
Yeah.
But it was given.
But not even the pants. Even the pants are actually pretty clean because I like different. But like the bag is like, okay, damn near any mainstream rapper in LA would be wearing that exact same outfit just with like a Goyard bag or like a Louis Vuitton satchel or something like that. Like it's really no different. It's just he's wearing like a bag. You know what I mean? And the glasses, maybe the sunglasses too, give off a little bit of. But even still, I guess like they're designers, so it's like it don't really matter.
Anthony was best dressed. This nigga was stoned. It was better than what the fuck.
Milan looked like. Who dresses Milan? Whose clothes is
it? Miss Milan looked like she came downstairs in a 2-piece rainbow outfit. Like
that was terrible. I was like, that's bad.
She just had to put the scissors to the dress, girl. I made a top out of the upper torso and some shorts out of the bottom. It was like I'm relying on my body. I can't rely on my body fashion because niggas really just be like simplifying the fashions. Trying to.
And Milan is like Milan is not even that big. Like Milan is not like to be showing off. Yeah, he's not like showing off. Like open shirt, walking like nah. And then plus like. The fact of being bald and you're not confident enough to like not wear a hat and then have the nerve to have your chest and shit out. To me, it's crazy.
I think because another thing too, I kind of like Milan only because I think maybe because I know he's always real flashy, so I didn't expect anything.
That fake ass GLD chains. The chain is.
Bro, I was like, girl.
All that goddamn fiberglass jewelry and them AliExpress ass outfits, girl. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. He can do better. I'm rooting for you, Milan. Now, let me tell you something about this whole like event, child.
Wait, because Miss Gutter K came down looking like a high school hoe, bitch.
Hey, can we go down the line? Okay, so look, William. Why the money? That's looks so tacky. Like, the bodysuit would be one thing, but money. And then it's $5 bills and shit. It's not even like hundreds.
I was not here for the onesie.
No, that's And then the chain. Why? And then But and then. Okay, so what do y'all think about jewelry? Like, if you think you can't like afford jewelry, do you think you should go and try to fake it till you make it, or do you just not wear jewelry?
I don't believe that your jewelry always has to be real. Yeah, I mean, because jewelry is just an aesthetic thing. So I mean, you put it on when it's on, it's off when it's off. I mean,
but I mean,
now,
what's crazy?
I prefer not all of my jewelry is real, but if a bitch want to wear some costume pieces, I mean,
But like, are you gonna go spend $20,000 on a Cuban link chain just to go wear it to the club?
Well, I'm pretty sure if
I pay $20,000 for a Cuban link chain,
I'm wearing that bitch everywhere.
I'm wearing it to every event that my life would ever call for.
Anything and everything.
The same way
You're going to see
that
the Cuban link chain wrapped around my coffin when they are lowering that motherfucker into the ground.
Well,
Exactly. So
that's
the
what
same
gets
way
me.
that Williams, because the same way that Williams was over there trying to flapping his BBL everywhere around, make sure before the expiration date was off that bitch. Same way I've been wearing that goddamn Cuban link, bitch.
It's funny because like guys in Houston, right? Like I remember the thing used to be the back of your neck better not be green after you like been outside on a hot day or whatever. Most people's necks would be green because they have fake ass chains on. Same thing with the grills. They go to the not the Johnny Dang, but the other Asian guy and go get some $200 grill, and then like it's not hitting the same as like the actual mouthpiece. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's a difference, I guess, even with the chains. Like people go out to the clubs here trying to think they showing off with these $200 chains, and then somebody actually comes through with like some shit on, and it's like actually shining and shit. And you're like, damn, you know what I mean? But still, I guess like they still pull up with what they got. So I guess if you feeling good, I think that's the point. I think it's the point. It's like if you're feeling good, you're feeling good.
I guess.
You know what I'm saying?
Because that's how you live how you get it.
Yeah, but I don't wear jewelry like that. But if I did,
I love jewelry. I stay with rings, earrings, lip rings, necklaces. I had an old nasty piece of chain on. Ooh. But then, I had this old nasty piece of crocodile sling bag. I'm like, I had to make some choices, bitch. So, yeah, I know all that. But, I get into all the things of the things. Miss Gutter was giving me like
high school
special edition City Trends Barbie girl, special edition Rainbow Barbie girl, like special edition Kmart Barbie girl, like give me a nasty piece. Or a layaway Barbie girl, like, and I'm gonna hear what the ratchetology of it is. Like, it was like it's like glamorized cheapness.
How much money is that on the lashes and the hair alone?
I'm sorry, Miss Gutter. She was giving me most a nasty piece of stairwell head, bitch. That was giving high school home. I lived for it, but bitch, it was giving me high school head, portable. It was most definitely giving me portable tees. Meet me by the portables. By the portables getting dug out in the dugout, bitch.
Oh my god,
girl, period. I mean, I live for Gutter, girl, because Gutter don't give a fuck. So
I live for it,
and that's clear. Now, Miss Durrell, she looked like she was on her way to sing before Kim Burrell as girl. I was like, girl, if you're going to grandma's house after church, bitch, it was giving me very much so, girl. Like, I just came from my brother's graduation, girl. Like, just
it was a turtleneck.
Like Natalie said, put on your swag, bitch. Your swag, girl. This can't be where the money reside, girl.
Okay, wait. Okay, so they're going to a bowling alley, not a club, right?
No, they're going to a industry event at a bowling alley.
Okay,
yeah. So that makes this a upper echelon event.
So you dress like you're
going. This makes this a Illuminati party, baby.
yeah. So the City Trends
you dress to be worshipped. Okay. When you're going to sit amongst Mount Olympus, you're coming. You need to be dressed to be worshipped, baby. Okay, that's why Miss Anthony understood the motherfucking assignment.
But look, that's Houston though. He's representing Houston. People go out here with like trench coats and shit on, so it's like, yeah.
Come on, trench coats, yes.
And what about the straight twins? How y'all felt about them?
I think dude's clothes are lame, bro. Moolah is like he's trying to rip off Floyd Mayweather's brand. Like it looks too close, if you ask me.
Lord. See, I wasn't even going to go for the jugular. This is where I typically try to give them their 10s because I do give them the blues all the time. I did say Curtis, he looked okay, even though he looked like he was about to jump out of a goddamn airplane as in pull out a parachute with that vest. But however, when it came to Moolah, the one thing I can say about Moolah, I do like the fact that he promotes his brand, his clothing brand. he promotes his brand. So
not where the National Guard reside, girl. They're looking like some damn National Guard coming in through that motherfucking girl.
yeah.
I know they're coming out to pass out our applications and shit, girl, for the military or what, baby? Are these recruiting, girl? What's team, Miss Mims?
Yeah.
Now, let me tell y'all something though. Baby, I would have killed to be a fly on the motherfucking wall when these hoes came bum rushing up through this motherfucking event, because I could just only imagine the toxic ass homophobic fantasies that were going on in the damn minds of these goddamn niggas they was passing through, girl. These toxic ass niggas looking at niggas in weaves, bodysuits, Moesha braids, fake eyelashes, makeup, baby. I can only imagine, baby. I mean, some niggas was this close to pulling out the Glock, baby. It was having fantasies of murder, bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Baby, I needed to be there, bitch. I needed to be there to read the motherfucking room. Now let's get to the infamous altercation, girl. This whole. So it's a few things that is about to happen in the next scene. Where's the goddamn slide? Hold on. Where's the next slide? Where did the slide? Okay. So first of all, before we get on Lady Gaga,
flapping that BB.
Christopher Fiberglass Cuban zirconian necklace wearing ass Milan. I finally put my motherfucking pinky toe on his ass this episode, because I'm like, why does Milan make my ass itch? Why is it that this bitch, like, I be wanting to root for Miss Milan, I be wanting to see it for this girl, but for every 2 steps she take forward, she takes about 150 other motherfuckers backwards. And I finally figured it out today. Because Miss Anti-Bully, Miss Captain Planet Girl, Miss I'm gonna stand in and defend the weak and what does it matter, and why you worried about his sexuality, and why is you came the same nigga.
Come on.
Who fell right into heteronormative behavior and then expected every other gay man there to fall in line with the heteronormative vibe, to the point that he even distanced himself and sat off in the cut just so that he could fit in. I said, see, Miss Milan, I can't do you, Miss Girl. This is why I gotta let you do Jesus and not do me, bitch, because you is where the hypocrisy resides, girl. And the issue with Milan is, hold on, I got a cough.
But I said the exact same thing in my life.
Hold on.
He said
the reason why Milan cannot keep it forwards or backwards and backwards. And the reason why his politics always end up contradicting each other, and he can't never stick to what identity he want to be in today, is because the bitch is being completely performative in his politics. See, when it's performative activism, when it's performative wokeness, when it's performative lucidity, baby, you're gonna have that many contradictories and hypocrisies and shortcomings in your day-to-day.
Yes, come
hurt you, girl. You're gonna have all that backwards and forwards and confusion going on. This bitch is completely performative, and that's why he's able to sell his motherfucking brother out back to Massa and have him drag Kuta Kinte back to the damn plantation, girl, for the solidarity and the win of it all. So I think I'm completely through with giving and reaching for Milan's substance, honey. I think for the rest of the season, I'm just going to be committed to keeping my motherfucking Jordan on his motherfucking wide back ass neck, bitch. And I don't even think I'm gonna be rewarding this whole when he get it right now that I know, girl, he's really just committing wrong, girl, because everything that Milan do is for him. He does whatever sounds good, whatever seems good, and whatever gets him by in every situation. He's not a real risk taker. He's not a real he's not a real superhero, girl. This is the difference between Dr. King and Dr. Umar Johnson, bitch. They in the motherfucking night. Milan don't know whether he want to be goddamn Ike Turner or Nat Turner, bitch. He got to pick a damn side. So I'm done with her. Y'all can sign the off.
Now,
about her first. Then we're gonna get into William and Moolah too.
It's funny because I said the exact same thing in my thing, and I was like, because here's the thing, because I was trying to look at it from all perspectives, as in when it came down to the whole William situation, and it was like, oh, they're doing too much and doing all this, because I was like, here's the thing, I'm not trying to balance this out, only because if I could go based on what I'm seeing, I'm probably gonna look, I don't know, like something in me is saying trying to balance this out, because I'm like, I understand that, but at the same time, I do understand and know how a lot of times us as queer people, we may get into a straight environment, or predominantly straight people are, and then we want to tone ourselves down and stuff. So I was like, that, and then on top of that, I was like, well, they did say he mistakenly twerked on Moolah, and then the thing is, the question I have.
Hold on, are we getting to that? Are we getting to that? Are we done with Milan?
Mistakenly twerk?
Milan? Hold on. I just want to know: is we done? Is we getting to the Lady Gaga and the Moolah situation?
I'm ready.
Oh, okay. So the only thing I want to say about Milan is I feel exactly the same as you. Like, Conscious, as far as him like trying to be an advocate and then totally, going back and doing the same exact things that he's screaming about, and for him to be like so passionate about it is
crazy as fuck.
It's crazy as fuck. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I feel the exact same way.
Performative allyship and activism. Now go ahead, Reckless.
So the whole thing I was looking at it as, because they was like, because Moolah was mad that Gatekeeper was mad because Miss Ass So Big, like the son was getting her usage out of her BBL before the expiration date had came up. So apparently Miss Ass So Big, like the son Williams, mistakenly twerked on Moolah. Now the question that I had after that, did an apology come after that? Did an apology come as, oh my God, and I realized that I'm sorry? But at the same time, also, I do remember Miss Ass So Big, like the son in the confessional, either confessional or it was a soundbite or whatever, saying, okay, you can go by, as in she didn't give a fuck. Confession, like you didn't give a fuck.
No, he actually said he don't give a fuck.
Yeah, so then I was asking, I was like, okay, was it like a thing where you apologize, he was still upset, so then it was like, I don't give a fuck, or it was I did it and I just don't give a fuck? So a lot of these questions was popping in my head. I was like, okay, now, girl, it was a lot going on. She was mad.
Well, it wouldn't have mattered to Moolah to begin with, because his whole point is, sorry or no sorry, how many times am I going to have to draw the motherfucking lines when it comes to these niggas? Now, I'm going to be honest.
At all people.
See, this gay shit is deep. Like, on one end, okay, if somebody letting you know what their boundaries is, you need to be mindful and respect their motherfucking boundaries. The burden is on you to respect those boundaries, not on Moolah. So, if he ain't with all the touchy-feely shit, he ain't with all the touchy-feely shit. It is what the fuck it is. However, another problem is, because humanity is so fucking egotistical, and so full of themselves, that it's a damn shame that people just can't enjoy each other and have fun in a space together, even if it is two niggas dancing or a gay nigga and a straight nigga dancing. The fact that even has to be a thing that cannot fall within the confines of just being in a festive space and cutting up and everybody enjoying their damn self is a shame. Because these issues should not be this fucking deep. But we know why they're deep. We know. But it's a damn shame that Moolah almost wants to go Columbine on the whole goddamn event because he has an ass that don't even authentically belong to Lady Gaga. You know, give him a little humpty hump, honey.
Oh, God.
You know, and I know that Moolah was completely triggered the fuck up because this been his whole point this whole time. And then the worst situation in the whole fucking world manifests, which is you gonna twerk on me in a room full of toxic niggas like myself. This was a straight man. This is the homophobes. Fucking, this is literally the shit that homophobic nightmares are made out of, baby. So Moolah is ready to act on that military outfit, bitch, and pull out the AK-47, the goddamn sawed-off rifle, girl, and completely let loose and let God.
That was my other thing is why are you wearing sweats to the club, bro? Or to the event anyway? Like
he's promoting his brand.
But still, you don't have no pants, no jeans. And then plus, like, if that's the case, like if he's really feeling the way he's feeling, and I know it's like, you know, it sounds weird or whatever, but it's like, just like Conscious is saying, if you're in that environment and you see that he's in a onesie and he's clearly shaking his ass, like, why would you?
It's that onesie.
Why would you be in the vicinity? Is my question.
Oh, God. And that was another thing that I didn't notice when they was like, oh, you know, he was twerking on me or whatever. But however, they also said when him and Moolah was talking about it, they also said that he was twerking in their direction. Then bitch don't look that direction. That bitch, from what it looked like he was twerking everywhere, bitch. So I don't know. He was throwing that BBL everywhere, bitch. Black China had nothing on him. Oh look, Black China. I was just about to say it. Black China had nothing on him, bitch.
He really got a BBL for real?
Mm-hmm.
Oh
yeah.
Wow.
But I guess
you know that man ain't built like that.
Well, I mean, I wasn't even really.
Women is barely built like that now.
No, but the whole thing behind it is that he got a BBL, but they forgot to get the front as well too.
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't they? Isn't it like a whole thing?
That's the only thing that make the front even make scientific sense. Like, if you got a fupa in the front, you gotta have hips and ass in the back. That's what's gonna like give your. That's what like gonna balance out the proportion here. You can't have a BBL in the front, girl, and then it's pancake in the back.
So it's nothing wrong with having like a little something in the front, but it's kind of counterproductive if you have a BBL and the front pokes out more than the back. Then you might as well kept the back as flat as it was because the front gonna be poking out regardless.
So that he can use the bad boy sauce into this check, girl, to get the fupa sucked out of his ass like a milkshake. Sometimes you can only afford to get your backyard done.
Yeah, you go.
Back to the front. Oh yeah, because
decisions, baby, decisions.
Because men do that all the time with their goals.
Well, look, okay, so
all bottoms, no tops.
One tooth.
Period. Now, I was going to say this about that last scene too, is because I had put something in my notes about it was did y'all also see how Curtis once again was twinning? He was twinning outside with Moolah, like he was like vicariously almost living through Moolah's frustration and almost kind of gaslighting the issue a little bit. Like he was trying to be politically correct, but really didn't want to be. He really wanted to tell fucking Moolah to go in there and rage motherfucking hell. But I thought it was so funny how Curtis literally is so up Moolah's ass that he literally adopted Moolah's issue. He was like, yeah, man, why they I don't know why he did that to us. I'm like, us?
Who the hell is us?
He didn't twerk on us. He twerked on Papoose. So, Lil Bow Weezy, wait, us came into play at, but I was like kind of shook that Bow Wow's ass is this far up. to carry on's point, this far up Mulan's rectum, it's like it's uncomfortable at this point. Like,
yeah, and then the
and
constant
Curtis doesn't understand how much of a simp he looks like.
Yeah. The constant touching, like the little touches, the the pats on the shoulder, the constant dapping and shit. Like, I don't know, man. I can say for sure that okay, if I'm Mula, I'm gonna be mad. Yeah, I'm gonna be upset. Like, I'm not gonna lie. But am I gonna wanna like kill somebody over it? Nah.
What would you do in a situation like that? And if it was amongst a man who you've already stressed again and again and again and again and again.
Oh.
If he said sorry and like I don't care, or like sorry I don't give a fuck, like okay, so Conscious, this is the thing. It's like I'm not saying like we would have to fight, but I guess like it's like I would have to get it. We have to like come to some kind of understand. Like, how am I gonna get you to understand? You know, because like can't have that. And like don't get me wrong, like goofing around with somebody or whatever is cool, but like a guy twerking on another guy is kind of like, you know, and especially you're wearing the fucking bodysuit or the onesie or whatever. But I don't know. Okay.
Do you think that it's possible for two people to be so egoless that they're able to just like completely destroy all social constructs and just be that free? Like, do you think that it's possible for will I have to receive the full lap dance from Lady Gaga and still be in good spirits? So, like, do you think it's even possible for us to do that to our brains, to let go of like all of the like?
Well, I think it's possible, but I don't think anybody's gonna. I don't think that people are gonna do it like because of just like, you know, really what I could say for sure is like a fact for like, and probably in Mula's case as well, is that there's this peer pressure that he doesn't want to come off as any type of like any questions as to if he's homosexual or not or heterosexual or not. You know what I mean?
Girl.
It's but look, this is the thing. So
what do you think of all these grown people who like to proclaim to be so grown?
Yeah, niggas.
Pay my bills and I don't give a fuck what a motherfucker think, but it's so clear how much of us as a society actually gives a fuck.
No, people care. Yeah, people that say that are probably the ones that care the most. Like I was just having this conversation with my neighbor. Like, you know how many, like, okay, for the typical like heterosexual man, it's like, okay, go get me a Hellcat. I have to fucking, you know, do all this so that way I can attract, you know, the women that I want. So it's like, you know, always a thing to where it's like you have to like do these superficial things, but like as far as being superficial as a person though, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. But I can say in the case of William and Mula, I think Mula had a reason to be upset, but not like I need to kill him upset. But
we all know that homophobia was found a reason just to, you know, come out.
Well, yeah, I mean,
which was another. Oh, my bad.
No, go ahead.
I just thought about it. Which is another thing I was saying when he was like, "Oh, I have no problem with the gays or gay community," but however, it's the, like I said, when people try to hold a face, and the whole thing behind it is that you can hold that face, but if you keep watching for that, if you watch that face long enough, they'll let you know different faces that's also included inside their soul and their body and their spirit. As in, after Carry On, because I just thought about it, after Carry On ended up leaving the conversation from the kitchen, they talking about, oh yeah, he's suspect. You see, it's little stuff that.
Yeah.
And also too is that when he was in his own confessional, when he was talking about ass so, like he was talking about ass so big Williams, fruity ass, is stuff like that makes us pay attention. But like, yeah, you have an issue. You don't want to say it, or you don't want that image because you understand the bad reputation, all the different types of things. But the whole thing that gets me is that y'all want to do the action, but however, y'all don't want the label. Make it make sense. But okay.
Here's the thing about it. Why is it that gay men can be that free? Gay men can get twerked on by women who they have no romantic or sexual attraction to, and it's not going to freak out or run out of the club or think to hit a bitch or any of that just because it's a woman twerking on them, being sexual on them, and also can be comfortable having other men doing that unto them. So why is it that straight men don't strive to like just let go of the bullshit in their head so they can just fucking be? And if a motherfucker got something to say about it, like, nigga, fuck you. Like, I don't fuck.
Do you think that's where that comment where somebody was saying that gay men have more privilege? Do you think that's what they're referring to? Is maybe the freedom?
No. Because to be quite honest, typically with straight men, unless it's called a spade, it don't never get that deep. So I highly doubt that's what they was referring to. Now they may try to say that, but I don't think that's what what the person was referring to. Typically when they say that, they talk about rights and stuff, and I'm like, okay, I want to hear the rights that you were referring to.
Okay. Well, I will say this. Gay men, like, because of the pushback from the culture, are forced to like either be oppressed by it or be completely liberated from it. So you have a lot of gay men who are like completely just like free. Like they really just don't give a fuck. They will die on the hill of authenticity. They don't care if it'll cost them their life someday. They're going to be who the fuck they are. They're going to live their lives how they see fit, and they're going to take whatever comes with that. I don't know if black straight men have the same pressure that leads to the same opportunities for like to transcend the matrix. So it has to be very self-initiative for the most part when it comes to straight men, because ultimately straight men are kind of like afforded to be comfortable in a society, like in the way the world already is. So there's not really that much of an
privilege
incentive to take their minds all the way there. But I do notice how much more like gay men are never like if a woman comes on to me, I'm not going to be like, man, women shouldn't hit on me, man. I'll kill these bitches, man. It's like, what? I mean, like,
women do that to me.
Like, what's the? I don't like what's. I mean, I know why the psychology is, but I don't understand how it doesn't sound crazy to the people who like are reacting. Like, do you hear yourself in return? Do you see how insane that is? Like, you never thought about why it makes you feel that violent. You never thought about. You never just pulled back and been like, where does this come from? Like, where? What is this thing? Something is in me that generates this response to said stimulation. What is it? And just go into that. Like, go down the rabbit hole of self. And when you do go down the rabbit hole of self, you discover that, oh, it's a bunch of dumbass shit here.
Well, a lot of people are scared of themselves, and I mean, like, it's crazy, but like, I think in the case of Milan, man, I think he's institutionalized, and I think that he's like, his mind is so set in like the way that he's thinking that he's not really going to try to hear anybody out, but then it doesn't, like, the situation with William doesn't help out. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that should make him like feel that way towards every man or every male in the homosexual community, but it's like, I guess it's just something triggering about it, especially obviously to Milan, to where it's like he feels like, well, okay, I can justify it because of the situation with William. You know what I'm trying to say?
Okay, I kind of say it again because I was reading comments. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, no. Okay, so like I was saying, I think Mula is coming from a place of, he's trying to, he may be like he maybe on the verge of like trying to get to the point of understanding, but it's like the situation with William is like knocking him back a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
I'm like,
Yeah, yeah.
no,
Because if you
no.
hold on, I'm gonna speak to this because the truth
Okay.
is, when you are conditioned,
Mm.
what you are essentially trying to undo is almost equivalent to undoing trauma. Like undoing a belief requires real work. People spend their whole life working out religious conditioning, social conditioning, etc. This is like real shit. Like I know that we live on the internet and people speak like shit happens in a vacuum. Like, oh, you should just be. That's not realistic to the way things actually have to be. Like you have to take time to decolonize your brain. This shit takes years. Sometimes this shit never happens at all.
Right.
Yet alone requires sometimes a lifetime of work for people to do. So with Moolah, to your point of knockout, it can be, both things can be true. That maybe there's a part of Moolah that is trying, but then he's re-triggered because maybe there are people in the space who don't respect
his boundaries.
Which don't make him homophobic in and of himself to have boundaries. If you don't want a man twerking on him, if you don't want a fucking man twerking on him. However, he also should look at his response as unhealthy. Like, it's okay to not want to be twerked on, but it's not okay to want to kill somebody or damn near hurt somebody physically because they accidentally dance, even if they had intentionally danced on you. That's not a healthy and appropriate response. So dealing with that rage, being able to say, I have rage and this is unhealthy.
It's an anger thing. It's not a but see, my thing is like Conscious, you had stated earlier that you just don't like, would you say you don't like putting your hands on people, or you don't like people touching you?
Well, when we were speaking about I forgot what we were talking about in the earlier part of the review, when it
was something based around like touching.
It was talking about affection, and I was saying how like me. Oh, we were talking about I had asked in the chat about Carry On and Gutta, and how Gutta is rather physically flirtatious with Carry On, like touching on his beard, his stomach, and like that. I was saying for me, like I don't initiate physical affection with people I don't know and have a relationship to. So I'm not the kind of person who just touches people. Like I'm not that person. So, but
say for you, if you were in the club and like, you know, you're just minding your business and then somebody thought, I guess, you know, just accidentally came and like danced on you, would you be like?
It happens all the time. Every time I'm out in public, period. Like niggas is in my hair, niggas is in my face. And when I say niggas, I'm about men and women, like people want to touch on me, like, oh my god, your tattoos, oh my god, your hair, oh my god. Like there's always something to gawk over or admire or fan out over. And then of course when I go to the fucking club and I'm like definitely in my bag and my ass is poking and I'm accentuating all the right shit. And you know, I got my shit. I got me my shit. Like, of course, I'm about to tell. I'm about to eat at the club. Like, I come to be feasted on. So of course, all of that behavior goes on. But you know, you expect that from certain environments because these are like dating, sexual, and festive environments. So why would I go to a club expecting not to be touched?
Well, see, that's the thing is like
expecting not to be touch. Like I'm going to in these spaces where people are going to dance and be communal and festive and also like hit on you. It's like I'm not one of those like fake woke ass people who like treat everything like, oh my god, like, even in this wild space I have conservative expectations. Like no, like there's things that are appropriate for certain spaces that are just not appropriate for other spaces. Now, can somebody just walk up to me in the mall and just put their body on me? No, that's not an appropriate space. I wouldn't even expect that in the mall. Would I expect that on the dance floor? Yes. Would I expect that in a club where everybody's dancing next to you and whatever? Yeah, of course. But you know, like I'm reasonable and rational in that way. I don't, you know.
Well, see, that's my like from my experience, like being in a club, like especially like here in Houston, right? Clubs get packed, and it's like if you're on the dance floor and you're trying to dance, it's like very possible that like some other guy that's dancing with this girl, she's twerking on him or whatever, and he might be backing up into you or getting backed up into you or something like that. And it's like he might brush up against you. You're not gonna turn around and like haul off and smack him or nothing like that. You know what I mean? But like, I mean, are you? Do you look at it too from like the perspective of like, okay, if it was a random girl that came up and started twerking on him, he wouldn't have a problem with it.
I mean, of course not, because he's heterosexual. So,
but see,
you know?
but the thing is about it is like, if he's coming from a place of like, okay, I don't want to be touched, that's one thing. But if he's saying like, oh, I don't want you twerking on me, and William is just throwing his ass everywhere, and it's like, to me, I would be like, okay, if I don't want William throwing his ass on me, I'm gonna probably like
be out of William's way.
Exactly. Especially if he's everywhere all over the club, it's like I'm not finna be in his vicinity. Not like off of like a a hateful thing, just like I see him having his like I'm gonna stay out his way. You know what I mean? But I don't know. Like,
I do think that equal responsibility is on them both. I think because they had a lane reserved for them, and you couldn't just be like anywhere you wanted to be like that because y'all also filming and all that, and you kind of have an isolated space to be in, and William is like doing the most, so of course he hitting up against everybody. I do feel like, it was just as much responsibility on him to be mindful that there's that.
Now, can we talk about fucking alcohol being like the main kind of like whenever something happens, it's when they're drunk?
Let me tell you something. I'm never going to be inebriated in a homophobic ass space because I need all my clear senses. Exactly. I need all of my lucidity. Like I need to go alter my consciousness in no kind of way when I'm aware that I'm going into
a contentious space,
a situation that has the potential to be problematic. So I'm sober any fucking way. I just don't like altering. I'm a control freak, like not controlling other people. I like to. I don't know. Like I'm scared of losing my consciousness. I don't like altering my brain waves and shit. Like I need to know. I need to be aware of everything. Like I'm outside of the world too much to be comfortable in altered states. Like I don't trust the world enough for me to be walking around kind of like.
Well, see, like, that's why I don't drink. I don't drink because I feel like a lot of people like obviously like just turn into a completely different person once they start feeling, tipsy or whatever. And then it's like from there, like even Darrell, right? In the first episode, it's like he was cool. Like I was vibing with Darrell until he was starting to sip a little bit on the
spirits got in his motherfucking ass.
Yeah, and then off the bus, now all of a sudden this fool is ready to fight each and everybody, and then he gets in the house, he's fighting everybody, and it's like, damn, you know what I'm saying? And then like most of them are saying, oh well, yeah, I was drunk, and da da da. Mullah's stupid ass excuse. Yeah, I just started drinking, so I had kind of got drunk and punched you in the face. Like, nah.
Yeah.
The thing about being drunk, it lets out your true intentions. I can tell you that much.
Yeah, I mean, reckless. That's very true. That's super true, and it kind of
gives which is the reason why that you saw Darrell. He even said the reason why he did what he did. Yeah, he was drunk, but having him being drunk also was one of the reasons why he did what he did right then and there, compared to why he didn't do it before even getting on the show. And also, I would say, in addition to being on camera as well. And also with Milan talking about I was drunk, that's why, blah, 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 blah. But that's like, that doesn't make it better. That makes it worse. That lets us know that's really how you feel. And you just have different ways of trying to cover it up.
And you can't control yourself.
Yeah, because the same thing happened with my uncle. With my uncle, he got drunk as shit, bitch. He was out of his mind, and then he went on a whole homophobic rant about me, bitch. And so I sat back and I listened.
In front of you?
He was waiting. He was waiting to bring the moolah out of him.
I sat back and I listened. And keep in mind too, he was acting a fool, running around every goddamn word. I mean, guess who's right there helping his black ass? Right here.
We'll see.
And so my mom checked him after that.
Yeah,
I don't do no drinking, and the only bud I drink is my purple alien. I mean, smoke is my purple alien, and I done smoked that like 3 times in the last 7 months. And I went to my handy dandy bong, baby. My nigga gave me a bong, baby, because I cannot experience cannabis like through the traditional like
rolling up and smoking.
Yeah, like I don't feel it. It has no effect on me. This is the only way I can actually get an experience is when I have to. Maybe because it's such an oral.
Well, it's more.
I'm so good at sucking dick, so it had to suction all that up like that. Just right up my alley. So
yes, ma'am. I know that's right.
I mean,
see, if I was hitting it like a knockout is, like it would just.
Well, I used to not smoke. Well, okay, so like I used to dab a lot, and like that's like 90% THC. So yeah, I would be sitting there, and if people think I would be sitting up on the stream high, I would be sitting there eyes closed if it was and be sitting there just feeling great. Yeah, but the thing is like I think everything in moderation is like absolutely true.
Have balance.
Yeah, and with drinking, what I found is like for me, I drink until like I feel good. I don't like to drink until I get drunk because I don't like hangovers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that's when I was drinking. And like even still, it's like, okay, I would drink until I feel good, but then this person would drink until they get drunk and then ruin the time for everybody and start falling out and shit everywhere, like, whatever the case. And it's like, man, I dealt with so many people like, okay, so we went to Austin to 6th Street, and it was like 6 of us, all guys, right? And they had like dollar tequila shots, several different bars. And like what you do is like obviously you bar hop because you walk down the street. By the time 2:00 came around, it was only like 2 of us, and both of our phones were dead. And like I didn't know where the other guy was. And I was like, this is stupid. So like,
dude, where's my car? Type shit.
Yeah, by the time I find him, I have to charge my phone, find a charger from somebody, charge my phone, and then get an Uber. And this is when like Uber was in Austin, and it was like $50 to go like 3 blocks. It was stupid. I was like, I'll never do this shit again. I was like, I hate this. It's like this is not fun. When people think this is fun, this is not fun.
Hell no.
I might want one of those experiences.
Maybe like one for the story.
Like,
you know what I mean?
Like those type of experiences might be good for when you're going through like a deep depression and you just need something to shake you out of your like bullshit, and you just need to like
let loose of just everything.
Get out of the consciousness of despair and sadness. Like you need like a drunk college night full of shenanigans to just shake up some shit. Like
just full of stupid shit. Yeah.
Because let me tell you, even when like it comes to like smoking weed, like I only would do that shit at home. Like I don't go out altered. I have to be just in for the night and just commit to like just being in my house for the day. Because I don't know, I don't trust other people like that. I don't trust other people to take care of me if something were to happen to me. If I was to have a mixed judgment about something going on that I experience outside of the world, like I don't know what the public's response would be. I don't know whether they just leave me there or I don't know. So I don't even put myself in a position. So I would do weed in like controlled settings.
Well, it was crazy to me is my neighbor is sober, right? The only thing he does is smoke cigarettes. But he got this new badass car. And I don't know if you were watching my live when I was showing that he got run over.
Yeah.
So he was at the, it's a sports club, but he wasn't at the sports club. Like he was just in the parking lot with everybody with the cars and shit. And he gets in a fight with somebody, and their friends, obviously they had been at the club, for however long, and they were leaving, and then you just see a car going 20-30 miles an hour and just run him over, smooth over
on top of the car, then flung off the car.
And I was like, like even if that person in the car was sober, how crazy would you have to be to just run somebody over? And if that wasn't the case, if they were intoxicated, then I would understand why you would think it's okay to just go and try to run somebody over.
You gotta be mad as hell. You could be drunk off anger and rage and egotism. Like, nigga, you whip my ass, I gotta one up you. You gonna catch this hood.
And that's one of the reasons why I do not get drunk.
Headlights, ho.
I do not drink.
Reckless, you're experiencing the army in the military.
Mm-hmm.
How many people did you experience that were fucking stupid that would get drunk? I couldn't imagine being in the
Oh, a
military.
lot of them. A lot of them.
And you have to deal with them. Like there's no other way around it. Like you have to deal with them and shit. Like I can't.
Yeah, a lot of them. But the thing is, the people that I've come across are people that have been doing it for so long. Like literally, like they can go out, get drunk, be all the way fucked up, and also, but however, be on time for formation, do what they need to do, and actually like their experience. So thank God,
PT and everything.
I've come in contact with people that mastered that art.
But see, that's crazy to me. Is like to be like a professional drunk like that is crazy. A professional alcoholic in a way. You know what I mean?
Speaking of that, did y'all hear about that drunk ass 20-year-old bitch who killed those 2 troopers and the pedestrian on the highway?
Oh wow!
Did y'all hear about that in Pennsylvania? Let me tell you what happened. So this girl got pulled over on the interstate. I think she was doing like 100 and something in an 80 mile per hour. 2 patrol officers pulled her ass over. They suspected she was drunk already. As they were assessing the situation, they get a call on their radio that there's some random motherfucker walking up the same interstate, just like walking down the interstate. So they, make an executive decision to kind of abort this situation and then go care for the guy down the interstate. Yeah. So they pull off on the left side of the interstate in one of the lanes, get out because they see the guy. They apprehend him. They're taking him back to patrol car. Do y'all know that the same girl who they stopped pressed the gas, got back on the interstate, ran them all over and killed them? Wow. Killed the 2 officers who had stopped her just 20 minutes ago.
And let her go? They let her go though, right? Like they didn't.
But they let her go because they got this emergency call on their walkie-talkie that this nigga was.
So what was her reason for fucking? She just did
drunk.
it.
She just came from the bar. She had just came from the fucking bar, completely intoxicated. And guess what? To make matters worse, when they ran through her Twitter, she had made a tweet from the car before she took off and said,
I'm the best.
Stopped. I just got stopped by the something. And then moments later, she had done killed these 2 officers and this man. And then they went more through her.
She killed all 3 of them?
She killed all 3. They were bringing the guy. They were bringing the guy back to the patrol car. She had done tried to squeeze through the wall and where the trooper thing was, she had done knocked the driver's door off the trooper's car, which was open, ran through that, ran them all over, killed them all instantly. They all died right there on the interstate. Then when they ran through her Twitter even more, she had just made a tweet a few months ago talking about something to the equivalent of I'm the best drunk driver or some shit like in the whole world. And now this bitch is going down. Like I know they're gonna throw the entire book.
She might fuck around and get a death penalty.
Death penalty, like
that's 3 people. And your car can be considered a weapon.
And guess what? The guy the pedestrian, the civilian, was a foreigner from Puerto Rico or somewhere. He had just got off the plane. He didn't know the American landscape. Yeah. He was taking the interstate because his mom's house was 20 minutes away.
And he's thinking he can walk up the
And he was walking on foot because over, I think in Puerto Rico, that's what they do. They walk on the roads and shit there. Right, so I'm just like, how in the fuck does all of this culminate? Like, could you ever imagine, like, the bitch you just stopped suspected of drunk driving?
And you let her go.
No, I mean, but you let her go because you got an emergency call that you have to respond to.
But you granted her that grace of, okay, we're gonna let you go and get you off with a warning this time, and then you go and kill him. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's a fucked up situation because they didn't even have time to even assess her to prove that she was even drunk, because literally as they put her over and was assessing her, they get this call, so they didn't even have time to give her
So she really got lucky.
Huh?
She really got lucky.
Nah.
Yeah, if she was.
Well,
if she
I mean,
sober.
Because she was drunk. I mean, because look, Conscious, do you think there would be ever? I know you don't drink, but like, do you think there could be ever like a level of inebriated or intoxicated to where you could just like stop caring about a human's life?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you just proved. Yeah. She just proved it.
Well, I'm saying like, if you're that drunk, then wouldn't you think that like them letting you go would be like? You would think to yourself,
you're
like,
not
oh,
thinking. It's nothing to think about. She's already gone. She don't even have sound rationale. That's why they don't encourage people to operate, a motor vehicle, dangerous machinery, all that kind of shit when you're drunk, because you don't have the same perception, and you're going to make very sick, poor, deformed decisions. And when you're drunk, when you're so drunk, you don't even know that you're drunk. Like, you're just in a whole nother nature of consciousness at that point. Like, it's a whole, it's like, you ever been in a dream, a knockout? But you don't, you're not conscious in the dream. You have your psychology already set up in the dream. Your whole knowledge base is already created for you. So that's how it is being fucking drunk. Like, you're not even in the same world. It's a whole set of it's a whole other world.
Like, I just couldn't. I don't.
I would kill myself. I'm gonna be honest. I could not be her. Like,
oh no,
I would kill myself.
And then to think about it,
I don't know how you cope with something that tragic.
You can't. And then, like, even if during her sentence, she's gonna think about it, because you're gonna be locked down for life. Like, there's no way. Like, you're that's life.
If I was the people that got ran over, I'm not even gonna lie. Once I make it to heaven or whatever God decide what my destiny is going to be, I will ask him just one request. Let me wait till that heifer gets a chance to come up to glory, and I'll wear her ass out of the gates of heaven, bitch. I would wear her ass the fuck out.
So I wonder if they're also going to try to hold the bar responsible, because I know that the bar can't serve you. So I wonder if they if they're going to investigate the bar she was at and see if there's any liability on their end or negligence on their end or not.
Well, that's really a thing, because
it's
not on the person, because I thought they were supposed to cut you off after like they thought that you were
but that's the law. If they don't cut you off, if they see that you are visibly drunk and in a stupor and continue to service you, then the bar can be sued and held civilly.
Can we end the live and come back, because this is part of the review?
Oh yeah, the review.
No, it ain't gonna go. No, like, this conversation is in tandem with Darrell's drunk, motherfucking sloppy ass sliding out of damn vans and beating
gotcha.
And all of that dumb ass shit. But
you see, it had happened. I forgot what the reason was review,
But yeah, I mean, well, to Reckless's point, circling back to the whole situation with them, I think alcohol is a big catalyst to like why this shit's happening the way it is. And I mean, I don't know if they can necessarily put it on the producers or the CEOs or whatever, because that's what they want, you know what I mean, at the end of the day. But they kind of overly produce the shit, if you ask me. I think and this is only the third episode. So it's like,
the second day.
Would you ever audition for the show? Because a Reckless is thinking about considering auditioning for season 2. A knockout.
I would do it.
You would do it. You should submit an audition page.
I would do it, because I would really like want to show people how like no, because like
how it's done.
But because I don't have like a judgmental bone in me like that. Like, bro, if I was at the club, right? Say I go to the Carino, the bowling thing, right? And I had met a chick, like, I'm in Curtis's position or whatever. And, it's like we go to the house and we're in the kitchen, and then William walks by in his onesie. Or Gutta walks by with lashes on in his 60-inch, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, hey, what's up and shit. And it's like, I'm not going to sit there and be like, oh shit, like I got something to
knock out
or whatever.
But
knock out. If I walk past you in my onesie and the way this ass is set up,
Girl.
The only thing that you need to say is, "Damn that ass fat."
This bitch. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. But also, to the point of the executive producers and producers, there is a reason why they have to do multiple interviews. Is because they're trying to see what your personality is like. Which the reason why they ask you, so how was your upbringing? How was this? Because they low-key trying to see what your triggers are, so they know who to put in that house to create some friction. Because no matter what, if you're around a lot of people, it's 9 times out of 10 you're not gonna be that person that's just, I'm not gonna judge people, I'm not gonna do this, I'm not gonna get mad. Some of them are gonna piss you off, especially when you get tired of them hoes.
I look at it like y'all remember on MTV how they had oh man, it was famous. Damn it, way before Jersey Shore. Jersey Shore.
Real World.
Was it the Real World?
Rules.
Mm-hmm.
No, it was the Real World, but then it was like Real World Couples or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be like the couples from the show, and it's like sometimes it would be the ex and the exes together, or sometimes it'd be they still together or whatever. And then it's like they just have to figure it out because they put them through challenges together or whatever. Like, I thought that was pretty badass. But like the whole, I mean, Reckless, with what you explained, it really makes sense because it makes for a good show. But it's like if they're interviewing people like Andrew, they probably even interview Andrew. They're just like, hey, please come on the show. You know what I mean? Like just because
But even then, that goes to what I was saying, is because with Andrew, he's just a ticking time bomb. He could piss all y'all off. Like
the first day,
he's not gonna piss me off because I could never take him seriously
I'm
enough
not saying
to be invested.
That's the thing. That's you.
Right.
I'm saying in the normal sense.
I would be laughing at that whole kind of like me and Gutter's attitude would have been the same. How he like just literally like was laughing it up and just like, girl, this girl is a mess. Like that would have been my whole energy.
So when he was sitting in the makeup chair talking shit, you would have just been sitting there just laughing like whatever.
Well, he wouldn't have been talking shit to me for one because he like that wouldn't even have been happening. And any little smart ass comments he would have been making, like I would have been so cute about it because like who is going to take Andrew Cockwell? Look, you must really need some clout to really take Andrew Cockwell seriously. Like you guys to really be about that clout. Like because
y'all think you think them Gucci gloves were real?
Well, who had Gucci gloves?
Yeah, who?
Andrew had Gucci gloves on.
Not black people wearing Gucci. Not.
I mean, like they were probably provided like by the stylist. I mean, those were probably items that belong to the stylist.
Well, oh yeah, that's true. They do have a stylist at the show. Well, I was thinking between him going to who is it, like Jada something, or somebody had an event that he went to and he was wearing them it was like a brown outfit.
Now he was dressed like a brownie.
Who? Andrisha?
Yeah. Oh man. Okay. I mean,
I don't follow her, so I don't be knowing what she.
Damn. Here, you mind if I share my screen?
You know, sharing that screen.
Yeah, also, did y'all want to come back? Because it's something that I wanted to bring up about. It's something I wanted to just expose you guys to, and I want to open up the panel to.
What's that?
Like my fucking nose is straight.
What
I'll give you something to eat too.
What are you referring to?
It's around like the whole like Milan down. It's not about him, but it's around that topic. It's around something that Asukiyana said on her in a podcast that she was invited to.
Oh girl, I know you about
that I wanna get into. Let me see here.
Here we go.
I'm finna get mad.
Oh my
god. First of all, I mean, I ain't never seen no Gucci boots like that.
This is why people need it. This is why folks need a stylist.
And then the turtleneck, he looks worse than Darrell. And then the brown, like I understand it's Gucci, but
those socks are cowboy boots.
It's a hard no for me. Everything.
Very hard no.
It's I don't even know what it. I feel like I'm looking at. You know what?
His knees are too close for his boots.
Now his knees knocking.
Oh my
even,
god.
even the boots make him look like he got cankles. Like a straight up and down leg. Like it's too much. I'm not gonna. I have convictions about Andrew Cockwell. I do roast her on very special occasions when she out there getting locked up and shit and doing the most.
And got beat up.
But
yeah, that guy's funny. I mean, I don't know. I can't form an opinion around him because like again, it's hard to take him serious. But
I almost feel bad. I almost feel bad laughing at him because I'm just like, I'm not going to hell. I'm not going to hell over Andrew Cockwell. I'm just not. I got enough things I gotta talk to the Lord about. Honey, Andrew Cockwell ain't gonna be one of those sins in the books I need to be talking about. So, but do y'all want to come back? And if y'all do, what time is good for y'all?
Tonight?
Yeah. It's already 10:10. I didn't even know that.
I was about to say anytime. I thought you're like, are you talking about I was gonna say if you're talking about like an hour or something, I'm down.
Well, maybe not an hour. Well, what time is good for you, Reckless? You want to get something?
I just want to go to the store and come back. So in 10 minutes.
So what about 30 minutes?
Okay, well if you're gonna do that, then I'll do that. Because I'm gonna go get some cookies. I'm gonna go put some cookies in the air fryer.
Yeah, I'm gonna put some shit in the oven. Okay, so we're gonna come back in an hour. I'm gonna text y'all both the link, the StreamYard link.
Okay.
We're gonna do 30 minutes, so around 10:40 ish.
All right.
40
10:40 ish.
All right.
Come on, 40 ish.
All right.
Good.
All right.
But that wraps up the review, you guys. Knockout Media, can you tell the folk where to find you out here on these YouTube? Hold on, wait a minute. You know what? If I know you work for a living, but if possible, I think that you should join us in these reviews weekly.
Oh yeah. I mean, honestly, anytime I can make it, I'm so down because it's funny because like I said, I was just finishing up the episode as soon as I saw you were going live.
And then boom, it was a godsend. It was divine intervention.
So yeah, we definitely need to do that.
Well, can you tell the folk where they can find you out here on these internet streets?
So my main channel is KOM or Knockout Media. If you type in Knockout Media, you'll see on my community page my backup channels. But I also have knockoutmedia.com now. Like knockoutmedia.com, spelled exactly with 2 C's, and outmedia.com. You can go there and hit me up, email me, call me, text me, check out all my other content on there. So yeah. I'm gonna update it every day. Oh, I have a blog as well, so check that out as well. But yeah, knockout.
Pretty much any eligible single small waist, big booty, available black women.
Strippers.
You're trying to do a shot, honey. Just roll on over there to the KOM motherfucking website.
I have to put a disclaimer out. I have to put a disclaimer now. On my website, there is a tab that does say 21 and up. So if you're sensitive to like content, don't click on that. But
not you got an OnlyFans slot.
No. It's not. It's not OnlyFans, but you know what I mean. There's some stuff on there.
Reckless.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome to the land of reckless logic. That is it for our review for today. Make sure you guys pop that like button, hit the subscribe button, and please smack that notification bell so do not miss any of my posts from us. But however, with that being said, my name is Reckless Logic. It's your first time seeing me. If you want to get a chance to actually reach out to me, my Instagram name is strictly Reckless, but however, my YouTube name is Reckless Logic, which is the name that you see on the screen. Thank you. It's with 2 C's because I'm not the same. Thank you.
You guys already know what to do. We will be seeing you guys. Make sure that you thumbs up this motherfucking video. Share this review out, honey. Shout out to Bad Boys, Los Angeles, and Natalie Nunn, girl. And, y'all are the gift that keeps on giving, girl. So keep up the shenanigans. Yeah, we will see you guys in about 40 minutes. Come back and got a show for you guys. I definitely want the guys' feedback on this audio that I'm going to play. And we just want to get into some things. I'm going to drop the link. And everything going, all of that good jazz. So be looking out. I'm going to create the watch page as Knockout Media throw some cookies in the goddamn oven, and Reckless Logic go and buy him some fresh draws, girl. So thank you all. I love you all to death. Peace.